There we go.
Hello, everyone! It's Dylan from Yu-Gi-Oh! Everything, and welcome back to another episode of Talkin' Yu-Gi-Oh! 7's Up, episode 50, Down and Distinguished. The duel between Gakuto and Nail. A lot of hot takes after this duel that we are going to be discussing. We have another awesome round of buy, sell, hold later on in the show where we go over some of the craziest theories and we tell you whether we buy into them, whether we don't buy into them at all, or whether there might be a little validity to them. And I am of course joined by two great team members here on the channel, Nick T, Pete. How you guys doing today?
Doing great.
Doing good, man. Thanks for having me.
It's good to see you both.
Happy to be here.
Caliber could not make it, but that is all right. We are still going to have a good podcast. We are going to talk all things Nail Gakuto, all things Yuga Rook. 50 episodes of Yu-Gi-Oh! 7s. That is crazy. Wow. The season finale is here. We are going into what I would imagine to be a two-part duel here between Yuga and Rook, with the winning team coming out 7-7-7 as the champions. So that is going to be really, really interesting to keep an eye on. And of course, we're going to hear from the chat and hear what you guys thought about this episode, which is always my favorite part of doing this. Before we get into all the segments and questions and discussions that we have planned on our thoughts from episode 50, I want to thank everyone who donated last week. We were not able to do this podcast on Wednesday night last week due to some weather issues here in New Jersey, but we did it on Friday night, me and Pete. Thank you, Pete, for doing that late with me.
It was a lot of fun. Thank you.
We had a lot of people come by.
We did.
Normal amount of people that we would expect for this podcast.
Awesome.
So it was, we were in like the mid hundreds, low hundreds, pretty much the whole night. So thank you guys for that. That was really, really cool. We have people that donated last week that I want to thank at the beginning of this week, which is how I start all these podcasts off. So big thank you to T Pink Staff, Legendary Duels, Nicholas Horton, Adola Burst, Kaio Cesar Campos, Electric Kevin, Goose, Nick Schoner, Drago Blue, X-Slayer, Dark Emperor J, Solid Snack, and to May, and a big thank you to her subs team, and of course, to Pete's better half, Megan Dunn. Meg, thank you for that donation. And to everyone who donated, thank you guys so much. I truly, truly appreciate it. We really appreciate it. So thank you guys for always participating and just being here. You guys are amazing. Episode 50, Down and Distinguished. A lot to take from this. Gakuto nicks a draw off of Nail.
Yep.
Nail's performance, Gaku-ting. Unfortunately, we're going to have to talk about that for a little bit. And of course, the backstory that we got with Gakuto's ancestors and Rinosuke and Ranzei. And Ranzei's arc comes to a nice conclusion here at the end of 50.
Yes.
So there was a lot of arcs that you feel wrapped up, or at least were supposed to wrap up in this episode. Did this episode land for you? Did you like all of it? Did you hate it? I mean, what were your thoughts? Nick T, you weren't here for Roman Roa discussion, so we'll start with you. How have you been feeling about this episode and the last two duels?
I really liked both episodes a lot. As with anything, I had some issues with actually both episodes. Should I guys go talk about last episode a little bit?
Yeah, if you want to talk last episode.
And then
Nick T was Nick
like comeuppance and this and that about like Roa abandoning his friends, which I was glad that Roman touched upon a little, like with what's off about him is the fact that he has no one behind him. He abandoned his two bandmates, his friends, and now he had no one behind him.
Yep.
Except no one really resolved the issue for him. They just like, you know what, we'll stick by you.
Yeah.
And I was like, so Roa didn't have anything to do with that. Roman didn't have anything to do with that. Only the two people suddenly forgave him. So I was like, okay, whatever. But the duel was really entertaining, visually really pleasing. All the duel, it was just really, it was really cool. It was a really great duel. So I enjoyed it. This week it was interesting. I really enjoyed the duel. I mean, I think Gakuto really pulled it together, but I think the Gaku-ting thing was stupid.
Not a fan.
Not a fan. I conceptually, I'm like, I can deal with it, but it was executed really poorly. If this was done over, X amount of episodes, and it was a gradual thing of him like feeling loss of control, maybe Sugetsu style is getting old, he needs to change something, and then he reveals this. But no, he just suddenly revealed it and then abandoned it. Did not like that at all.
Okay.
Especially the dreads were like, it's a minefield there. it's a very slippery slope. The dreads just should have been left out.
Yeah,
no dreadlocks.
I
He's
agree
no.
with that. Yeah. Pete, what were your thoughts, Pete, on Gakuting? Obviously, Gakuting was a part of the episode. We got to touch on it. So I think some people enjoyed it. I think most people I've talked to were not heavy on it. What did you think of it?
I thought it was pretty bad.
Yes.
I said last week when the pictures of it came out that I thought it was in poor taste. And then the actual execution of it in the episode, it ends up, more importantly, serving literally no purpose. It's like he's wearing 5 outfits all at once just to keep taking them off, and then going back to a different version of his Sugetsu style.
Yeah.
I just, I like how he ended. I didn't like that part of how he got there.
Yeah.
And that Gakuting thing was just... It didn't really seem like it was entertaining the crowd. Everyone seemed confused. The only person that seemed really liked it was Roa.
He was very entertained.
It was just
Roa was entertained.
It didn't even really throw Neil off his game. He was dominating the entire duel. It just served absolutely no purpose. And aside being a meme going forward, it really does nothing. So yeah, was not a fan.
Yeah, I think it's one of those things that probably is not going to come back. I would say that. I found some of the English that he was doing to be hilarious.
Oh yeah, that's gonna be me.
The hey everybody stuff.
Come on.
Yeah, that was funny. But yeah, and I don't even mind it from I think I'm in slight disagreement here. I think from a symbolism perspective of just showing how kind of a psychotic break that he's having. By putting on this show in his very next duel in front of a massive audience. He's going up against Nail, who is maybe the strongest duelist in the world.
Right.
Definitely the strongest he's ever went against.
Definitely the strongest he's ever went against. And all the weight of the world is on his shoulders. So I think Gakuting does represent a greater just kind of psychotic break that he's having.
Sure.
And then and he kind of knows that what he's doing isn't right, and Rinosuke kind of snaps him out of it, and then he sees the vision. Not only did I feel the build-up could have been a little better, as you touched on, but I just feel, the dreads, and there were some other aspects of it that I think you could have shown that off in a cleaner way, where, you could do an outfit change that would not be a bit of a minefield, I think that was the word, which is a good word. I just don't think there was any need to tread those type of waters.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
I agree with that aspect of it. But the symbolism I didn't think was horrible. Execution definitely could have been better.
The symbolism made sense, except it was a psychotic break that lasted 5 minutes.
Well, that's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
I get the idea. Yes, he had a psychotic break and it changed everything, which I think is a good idea. Conceptually, that's why I dig it, but yeah, execution.
I didn't even feel like the psychotic break was that earned in the episode, and then B, you could argue he had it later after he got rid of the Gakuting thing when he starts maniacally laughing.
Yeah.
So to me, that was more of a psychotic break. The other one was just him trying to change it up because he knew his old style would no way have a chance at beating Nail.
Yeah.
But I don't know, it was flat for me.
Yeah. Well, he knew he had he's been harboring a lot of self-blame and self-guilt from when Ronze left.
Right.
Which I think is unfair. I don't think he should have been doing that, but
it's honor.
We do that, yeah. Listen, I've made a lot of decisions in bad states of mind before. It was a bad decision what he did. Yeah. Not just even talking about the outfit itself.
Which is another conversation.
Yeah, which is a whole other conversation.
Yeah.
But just going into abandoning his style. And that's why I love how harsh Rinosuke was. Rinosuke, for me, MVP of the episode, honestly. When he just grabs Gakuto and says, "This is your last duel." He's like, well, what are you talking about? He's like, you've disgraced our name. Like, the style is, you cannot carry the style
And you see that means more because... I took it as literal and not as a joke that maybe there's some ancestral connections.
Oh, I think so.
Between the three of them going back pretty far.
Which is cool.
Well, I think they've said before that their family has served Gakuto's family and that style for generations.
I mean, he won a battle with that.
He won a physical war. Well, outside of the Gakuting, which obviously I'm sure we'll have a lot of conversations about with the chat as well. What were your thoughts on the episode outside of Gakuting?
I liked it.
Yeah.
I mean, I thought it was enjoyable. Anytime Nail is dueling, I think he's the most fascinating duelist at this current point. His OST is it's great.
Yeah.
I love listening to it. I love Yugo Dragon. So all that stuff worked for me. Even the background characters here of kind of Roman and you know what? I'll also give a shout out once again to Rook. He is quietly in the 2 duels he has not participated in, been very supportive. I know his ultimate goal is because he wants to be the king of duels, right? He
Right.
wants a chance to win. But I think he's supported his friends and given them confidence that they need, or even given the other person he's standing on the sidelines with a lot of confidence in whoever's dueling, whether it was to Gakuto last week for Roman or to Roman this week for Gakuto. I want to give him a little bit of love there because I think he deserved it. And that more serious tone or more mature tones from Rook would be nice to see some of that going forward.
Yeah.
As opposed to some of the antics we've seen.
Even last week,
Yeah.
where Rook was very calming down of Gakuto and said, hey, Roman's a good matchup for Roa. And he was right. I said it in my episode review, exactly what you just said. Nick T, outside of Gakuting, what do you think of the episode?
Other than that, I thought it was a great episode. I mean, I think the Gakuting thing did waste like a few minutes of like what could have been a really great episode because Nail is just a powerhouse. I mean, not only the duel itself, like his end especially was really impressive. He just has this commanding presence himself. I mean, that one line of dialogue, like, I know you'll regret this duel
for the rest of your life,
so I'll make it quick.
Great,
and this
great
music
line.
menacingly
Great
playing in the background.
Yeah.
I'm like, chills.
Yeah,
It was
great
great.
line.
It was really good. And to Pete's point, I actually should have mentioned that earlier, that, yeah, like when I was talking about the last episode and this episode, Rook has been very insightful. He's been cool, calm, collected. Anytime another character's freaking out, he's like, no, I get it.
Yeah.
And like, he flipped a switch.
Yeah.
And he has been amazing.
Yeah, I agree. There's something I want to touch on. So obviously this is our second draw of the show.
Yeah.
A lot of people, when I was watching live, were like, oh my god, first draw. Ronze Rinosuke was also a draw. Even though that's a much more forgettable duel than this duel. But still, it was a draw. And I saw a few people on social medias and different various sites talking about how this duel was horrible for Nail. Killed his character, killed his legitimacy. I'm not going to give my opinion on it. I gave my opinion on the review, and I will, but I want to let you guys speak. Just hearing that, do you agree with that? How do you view Nail as a duelist, as a character after this draw?
Do you want to go for it?
I mean, no.
Yeah.
I mean, like, he's still a great duelist. He dominated this entire duel. It was basically a hope and a prayer for Gakuto to end up having 3 rulers that he kind of strategized into his graveyard, then ended up saving him, and Nail didn't even expect that to be a move. And in the end of it, the move was mutual destruction. There was no way for Gakuto to win. That was showcased. So, no, I don't look at Nail and go, wow, what a terrible duelist, what a waste of his character. If anything, you could say that it was part of the plot the way it had to go, right? We have to get the 777 in points, and so it just, happens to be the duel, so it makes into a draw, but otherwise, no.
Yeah.
I totally agree. Yeah, not in the slightest. If anything, the way this duel turned out was more a credit to the way Gakuto was able to turn it around.
Yes.
Because it's already been established Gakuto isn't the best duelist. I mean, they even say this is the best I've seen him duel. So he really was able to take that whole Gakuting thing, garbage, turn it around into like actually being competitive against a top tier duelist. This isn't bringing Neil down. It's just simply trying to get Gakuto to catch up a little bit.
Yeah.
And he did it through mutual destruction. It wasn't a blowout. It was mutual destruction. And Nail even says he had fun with that duel. It wasn't, sure it wasn't boring, but it was a competitive duel and in no way reflects poorly upon Nail.
Yeah, so I fully agree. That's a take that I was surprised I saw from quite a few people, that Nail's character and his dueling ability is
it's only his
tarnished.
3rd duel in the whole show.
Yeah, and he dominated the duel.
Yeah.
I think some people in the community are treading dangerous waters with making wins and losses everything that has to do with a character in the show.
100%.
And that's very dangerous to do, because you're going to start going back to shows and saying, well, Shingo Sawatari, I bring him up all the time. I wasn't a big fan of his character, but he was better than a zero-win character, even though he never won a duel, a 1v1 duel. He wasn't a waste of a character. I mean, he served a purpose, and I understand the appeal with him. And then what? Characters like the Clock Dude in 5Ds all of a sudden are like the best characters ever because they won a duel and they never lost. Crow Hogan in 5Ds, who barely ever lost, is one of the best characters ever because he won every duel. I think that some people are putting way too much stock into wins and losses.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say wins and losses aren't important, but it's very important to know that they are not everything. And that is something that I've seen kind of trending with the community. That does concern me a little bit. I look at some great villains. Zone, people think is a great villain. He won a single duel. Yami Marek is my favorite villain. He won 2 duels.
True.
Yami Bakura is a villain that everyone loves. I don't think Yami Bakura even won a duel. But what made these characters fascinating and special is that they were such good characters in the story and what they contributed to the story outside of what they contributed dueling record-wise. I mean, dueling record-wise is so primitive. And yes, at surface level, Nail and Gakuto draw. Nail doesn't get the win.
Right.
But he dominated the duel.
Yeah.
That's such an unfair thing to say that, yeah, Nail and Gakuto are even now because they drew. I would never agree with that.
No,
I would
definitely.
never agree with that. They duel 100 times. Nail's winning 85 to 90 of those
Easily.
times. Gakuto got very lucky, and all credit to Gakuto. I think it was a great result for Gakuto as well. But I think some people are trending in a dangerous direction where winning and losing is becoming everything.
Yeah, it's
and that is not a very accurate picture to paint.
I very much agree.
Yeah.
Well said.
Yeah, thank you. So I just kind of wanted to touch on that and to see if maybe like you guys kind of agreed with those takes.
Oh yeah, no. With your take, not those takes.
Yeah. So I'm trying to think what else I wanted to discuss. Oh yeah. Did you guys make any? So there was a scene that I thought was interesting, and I didn't point it out in the review, but I thought it was interesting when Gakuto is talking about getting down and distinguished, and he's talking all this nonsense. We see the Machine Cavalry Club. We see the Apocalypse Club. We see all the onlookers.
Yeah, the astronauts.
I thought the astronauts. I thought it was fascinating. You guys might not have caught this, and I want to know if you think anything about this. They showed the Dinosaur Club, and Khan and his friend were sitting above where Hunt was sitting. Hunt was not sitting next to his team.
Oh, really?
That was the only club that I saw where the 3 team members were not in a row. So Hunt was there, but he was in a different seating section. And the characters that I'm pretty sure were next to Khan and his other friend were like blank characters. So they easily could have put Hunt there.
Yeah.
And the way that Sevens does things, you probably didn't even notice it when you watched the episode. You could even pull it up if you want.
I actually had the episode already up. So where?
Yeah,
where that was?
it's actually you're close to it. But do you think anything of that? I mean, that Hunt was not seated next to them.
It's probably something.
We already know there's a little bit of
we know there's tension there just because of how Hunt viewed himself, and that he was like had a maximum, and now he had all that successful
it's more
shop of selling
21st
things.
debuts.
So he probably views himself as better than they are. So they probably had some kind of falling out, and we'll get to it at some point.
Yeah, I thought that was fascinating because that was the only crew, and I'm sure a lot of people probably didn't even notice that. It might not mean anything, but it could mean something. We're getting to it right now, so you guys can see.
Roll was literally having.
I think it's one more shot to the left.
Well, it's probably coming up right here.
Yeah.
Oh,
and if you look at this shot, so it's the Apocalypse Club, Yugioh, his 2 friends, and then Hunt, and then right above it's Khan and the other member of the Dino Club, and next to Khan and next to the other member are generic blank characters. They very easily could have put Hunt next to that club, and so I wonder if that is small symbolism that there is a rift between, because look, they're all next to each other. That there is a rift between that group, or if maybe there is going to be a greater rift. I think that was pretty
Shore
interesting.
is also on the opposite side of Tiger. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, but Tiger's kind of part of that group.
Yeah, I guess.
Standing is a little different than seating. I mean, that other shot is so intentional
it's a very intentional shot.
So it might not mean anything. But with Sevens, I'm very careful of just dismissing anything as it's just a weird shot.
I didn't.
I feel like they do everything intentionally, and so that's kind of an interesting shot. So keep an eye on the Dino Club because that dynamic is has been one of the more fascinating dynamics of any of the 3 clubs in terms of characters not really all loving each other like we see with the Ramen Club, like we see with the Mad Max Club. So the Dino Club and Hunt are going to be interesting. Hunt is, in my opinion, one of the shadiest characters in the show. I think he's one of the... I know they're all kids, but I think he's one of the slimiest characters in the show. So, I mean, he is.
He's a kid child.
I understand he's a child, but in the context of the show. In the context of the show, he is. What he did was not right.
What he did wasn't right.
Yeah. So we'd agree with that.
Yeah, we agree with that.
All right, so we agree he's a little slimy.
No, we agree he's a child.
Do you make anything of it?
Yeah, I mean, I said my piece on so.
I zoned out. I'm sorry.
No, not in general.
Oh no! In Hunt. Did you say your piece on Hunt?
Yeah, I said my piece on Hunt. Yeah, they probably had some kind of falling out, and he's
That's right.
he's not the best person, but as like Nick T says, he's a child. So if you were a 10, 11-year-old kid and you came into tons of money like he apparently did, I mean, how would you act?
Yeah.
You would kind of act the same way.
I don't know. I don't know if I'd throw away my friends if I got into some money.
Money talks, man. Money talks.
Yeah, I think it makes
money talks. On the other hand, we have Kaizo who's just betraying people left and right for no reason at all.
I agree. Yeah. I have never defended Kaizo in my life. I don't know why you're. I don't know.
Never forget Kaizo's face when he was like a human like Garrett.
Also, never forget that Kaizo is still kind of gone. He hasn't been around in a while.
He got tied down, remember?
That's right, but he hasn't been around for this tournament.
I think it's more importantly that he doesn't seem like he's flipped to our side. He's still bitter.
Yeah.
Which means I can't trust him once again.
I have no trust in Kaizo. I don't know what's going to happen to him in the second season. That'll be kind of fascinating to keep an eye on.
He's got to go.
He's got to go.
Wow.
Was there any? Well, I guess the other aspect of this episode was Geta and his team working on the supercomputer. Yeah. I think that they're probably going to be the first people who figure out what's going on with this tournament. What did you make of that scene? The fact that Schrodinger and Arata are back, like what?
I feel like it's just as a background thing, right?
I don't.
Nails guys.
I don't think so. I actually disagree with you completely. I think that they're going to be the ones that first realize and convey to the audience the meaning of the tournament. That's what I believe.
Oh, that's good because they'd be the ones. They're the ones that are discovering it.
Yeah, I think Geta will figure it out. And I think that'll be a good moment
They
for him.
quietly in the last couple episodes have been a great comedic duo for me.
It's been nice.
There was another shot here where Yamato Shiro was distracting them purposely by like telling them like scary stories about cats just so Geta could actually have a freedom to work.
Yeah.
So I thought that was a pretty funny bit. Just like last week when they intimidated the new alien or whatever.
Yeah,
that was pretty funny.
Flush,
well. Flush.
Yeah, Flush. That scene with Flush was hilarious last week. Another thing I want to talk before we get to our little buy, sell, hold game, and then we get to, of course, comments from the lovely people in the chat. Some parting thoughts here on Ronze. Ronze's arc kind of comes to an end. I think it's worth just discussing. How do you feel about Ronze after this episode? Do you like her more? Are you still not a fan? I mean, what are your thoughts on her?
Pretty neutral, honestly. Like, I didn't care. I thought it was funny that she had defected to Nail and the way he just didn't want her. And I think the way, similarly, I think it was funny the way she was like, I think I'm going to retire and, thank you. And he just said from the bottom of my heart, please just forget it. So I thought it was great. But yeah, I feel like I didn't really care when she did it that much. And I don't really care that she's back with Gakuto, but it's better for his character. So I think it's a good thing.
Yeah. Pete, your thoughts on Ronze?
Yeah, I'm pretty neutral on it as well. I think in my eyes, she has a little bit to earn back.
Sure.
I thought it was not the best look for her.
I don't think Gakuto will view it that way.
Of what she did, and I think it's a classic. He won't because he's a better person than me. But I think it's a classic case of the grass is not always greener.
Right.
And she went to Nail to be like, oh, well, he's better. This is the next step up in my training, and he wanted nothing to do with her.
Yeah.
He already had his person in Sebastian, his kind of confidant.
Yep.
And she just never fit in. So yes, Gakuto, a good person, is going to bring her back in. But I thought they had a nice little moment there at the end of the episode. So we'll see how that progresses. Is she going to get once again kind of upset? Is she going to just go back into her role? Is she viewing it now that he's graduated the Suigetsu style to a higher form of it? Now it's like starting all over again. So that'll be fascinating to see going forward.
I like it. I like it. Well, chat, I think it's time for a game of buy, sell, hold.
Love this game.
So we have Yuga versus Rook coming up. We have the final season here, or not the final season, I'm sorry, the final duel of the season here coming up. We know opening 2 is changing, and ending 2 is beginning on June 20th, I think it is. It might not be June 20th, but it's whenever episode 53 airs, so that'll be very exciting. If you're unfamiliar with buy, sell, hold, I give a theory that I've seen online or maybe that my own brain has concocted, and then you guys in the chat and the panel here are going to tell me whether you buy the theory, meaning you agree with it, whether you sell, you think it's crazy, no way, or whether you hold, whether you feel like there might be something there. So we're not going to, this is probably going to be the last, actually, it's definitely going to be the last buy, sell, hold of the first season of Sevens Up.
Right.
Because we're not doing it next week, and then we'll have Entame on for the season finale. So we're not doing it that week either. So this is the final buy, sell, hold of the season.
Here we
Hope
go.
you guys enjoy.
It's time for Buy, Sell, Hold, where we listen to your cracked out Yu-Gi-Oh theories and we tell you to buy. I want you to buy. Sell. Sell. Hold, please.
All right. First theory. And this, not theory, first comment. And this actually has to do with the upcoming duel between Yuga and Rook. Both teams are on 770 points. Buy, sell, hold. Yuga versus Rook will not conclude.
Yuga.
There will be a no result to Yuga versus Rook. Buy, sell, hold.
I think I'm gonna hold.
Okay. And your reasoning?
Hold, please.
Because I don't know. I think as much as like we've all been waiting for this duel, this matchup, and I think it's gonna be really intense. I think, we very well could get an outcome from it with everything going on in the background and then looking for whatever, what's really going on with this tournament. It's very, very possible that something's going to bust up and happen and we just won't get a conclusion to their duel and instead have to pivot to whatever this big bad,
And that'll lead into the next season.
Exactly.
Pete, buy, sell, hold.
I'm going to actually go hold as well. We're going to have to get to some picks, so we'll get to that later. However, I could see our next villain group who's behind when Geta and the crew figures out who's behind the tournament, kind of stopping it right as we're about to get a conclusion, because this show doesn't really want to give us a king of duels yet, right? Because that's the whole build-up between Rook and Yuga. So
Yep.
I'm going to go hold.
Yeah, I'm going to just say my opinion quick, and I'm going to sell.
Sell.
I think this will have a definitive conclusion. I think for that 777 symbolism for points,
true.
I think that for me is enough to say we will have a definitive conclusion. But that'll be very interesting. Next one, Otis. We know Otis is speaking in episode 51. He's on the cast list, so minor spoiler there. Otis is speaking. He's returning. He apparently knows the true meaning of this tournament.
Right.
Otis will interrupt Geta and that crew and not the tournament. Otis will interrupt Geta and them and not the tournament. Buy, sell, hold.
Do you want to take this one first?
Sell.
Okay.
I'm going to sell that one just because his connection to the rest of the crew, specifically Yuga, is too strong for him to show up to side characters. So I'm going to go sell on that one.
Nick T.
He nailed it. Sell. We're selling it.
Sell.
Yeah, I just think, he's too important for I'm not saying, Geta and Ushiro and Arai and Schrodinger are not worth anything, but they're not really worthy of Otis just showing up to them and interrupting whatever they're doing. He's going to... pretty much Yuga, but Yuga, Roa, Rook, really, those are the characters that he's going to appear to and talk to if he's showing up.
Well, we know he is showing up.
Exactly.
So
That's...
And make sure you're playing at home as well. All right. Here's a fun one. Opening 2 will show a legacy throwback in the visuals. A legacy monster that we have yet to see. A legacy summoning mechanic that will be appearing in the next season. Or a legacy character. Buy, sell, hold.
I'm going to buy.
Okay.
Buy.
I think it just makes... we've had, this opening... Yes, there are cards that have showed up, but we got Summon Skull. We are in the...
Red Eyes Black Dragon.
Yeah, but what's it called in the sub? It's not Summon Skull in the
No, I think it is. It's Oh yeah.
I'm going by the dub name. I forget its
Yeah.
original name. But yeah, we got those two cards. We got... Well, I guess I don't think Blue Eyes was in the opening. Was he?
Yeah, he was. He was fighting Sevens Road.
Exactly. Yeah. So we got those, and yes, they did show up in the show. But I think there is that tie of sort of a legacy, at least hints of a legacy to the current show. I think it just makes sense to kind of maybe get a Dark Magician or something. I don't think we're going to see a character. I think it's much more likely to see a legacy card or monster. But
so I threw that in. Pete, what do you think?
Throw us off there.
I'm going to go buy.
Buy.
Just to see it in the opening or ending for season 2. Yeah, I think the show has done a great job of showing us some legacy monsters, some legacy cards. So why not throw some kind of image in there to kind of hype us up and eventually have it appear in the show? So
Exactly.
I'm buying.
I like that. All right, this is a bit of a darker one. Do you want to get it? Okay. This is for you. Someone will die before the season ends.
I'm going to sell that.
Okay.
Sell.
There's no so who would die?
Well, we had the random guy die
He
already.
was a random character.
But that would apply
we'd
here.
have to have another random character, and in the current events of the show, in the next 2 episodes, it just doesn't seem likely that someone will die.
I don't make the topics, bro. Someone will die before the season ends. Buy, sell, hold.
Selling that one.
Sell.
Who is going to die?
Well, we've already seen a death.
And this show is not like that.
The old man, though.
No, I'm going hard sell on that.
All right. Gakuto's final duel will be versus the ancestor that was shown in this episode.
Ooh.
Buy, sell, hold.
That's actually not a bad theory.
That's why we play the
I'm
game.
gonna sell.
Sell.
I love the idea. I would love to see that happen. I don't think it's gonna be his final duel. I think it's gonna be almost like a penultimate where.
Oh, so you think he will duel them?
I think it'd be kind of cool.
Okay.
I like the idea of that. I mean, look, Rook literally dueled himself.
Yeah. Oh no.
Why not having Gakuto as like a sort of a penultimate duel? Kind of search what was really inside him and in his ancestry, and then when we get to the end of whatever's gonna happen at the end of the show, he has his true final duel against a villain that matters.
Yeah, I love it. Buy, sell, hold.
I love the idea. For now, I'm going to go sell.
Sell.
I don't think we're going to go that direction for his final duel. However, be really cool to see, though.
It would be.
Yeah.
And then, chat, the final buy, sell, hold topic for Season 1 of Talkin' Yu-Gi-Oh! 7's Up. We will finally learn who the organizer of this tournament is in this upcoming duel. Buy, sell, hold.
I'm buying.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm buying.
Buy.
Yeah, there's been too much teasing up to this point, especially now that we have the crew here for 2 episodes hacking, that we don't get some kind of reveal on, even if the main characters don't know, we as the audience are going to know.
Yeah.
You agree with that?
100%. That's exactly it.
Buy.
I think it's just gonna be one of those moments where it's like maybe they won't know. It's very possible that our team won't know, but as an audience, we're gonna get to see a glimpse of really who's pulling the strings.
Yeah, that's a heavy buy for me. I think we have to. I think that's going to be the big payoff. But Sevens has also done an interesting job of kind of keeping some cards face down. So
Is that a close to the vest face?
I mean, it was a little bit of a reference there. I mean, listen, we thought for the longest time Goha 66 was the organizer. Right? I mean, a lot of us thought that. They pulled a pretty big swerve there. So, will we learn the organizer? Who knows? But that was buy, sell, hold. Thank you for playing. Thank you for coming by. So, we have our buys on... I'm surprised. You guys both said opening 2 will show a legacy throwback in it.
You don't think so?
No, I'm pretty 50-50 on it.
So you're holding.
I would hold. Yeah, I think that's interesting. I would love it. I mean, give me legacy stuff all day. If we're going to see any sort of legacy thing, it will 110% be a legacy monster.
Right.
There's no way there's going to be a legacy character.
No.
And I don't think we're going to get a legacy mechanic. Remember, we do have a new mechanic showing up in next season, so that'll be very exciting. Assuming it's not in this season, which it probably won't be. We're going to do all previews of Yuga Rook, redo the 51 summary and cast list as well, so definitely stick around for that. We also are going to make our final picks of Season 1, Yuga versus Rook, coming up. That will be very, very exciting and cool. Do we want to do some donations? So that's coming up.
Oh, God. I just want to make sure I'm all... yeah, let's do some donos.
Liza, we're live.
Hello, baby.
I know there are several times.
Do you want to do the few that are on the...
Yeah, the link.
Let's
go.
She doesn't care.
Hi, baby.
We'll do about 5 to 10. Love you guys, and then we
She
are
literally
going...
wanted to climb on the
Let's see if I
table.
can get her.
Try
down
it.
here. Oh, wow. She's a...
I know. She wanted to climb on the table. I don't know
Why? Center of attention.
We're live right now, the people. They're looking at you and they're like, what is this girl doing?
Dark Emperor J, thank you so much for the $1 donation. What if the result of Yuga and Rook is a draw? If you were to create your own maximum, what would you make? I'd probably make some, like, crazy animal. I think, like a 3-headed wolf or something like that. I think that would be really cool. If your own maximum.
Oh.
Yeah. And I think Yuga and Rook, I see no result more than a draw. I don't know if I like back-to-back draws.
Yeah,
I think the whole point of Gakuto Nail drawing was to get to this duel.
Right.
So I don't know if I would like a draw between them. No result, I think, would be a little bit better.
Bro.
Liza, come on, Liza.
I don't know. What would I... Because it has to be something of 3. I don't know. I mean, I would love... Obviously, it's the idea that I had for Roas that we haven't seen yet, but maybe could end up happening.
Instruments,
Instruments, a big stage, something
Yeah.
loud and huge.
Yeah, I like that. Thank you, Dark Emperor J. X-Slayer, yeah.
I'm sorry. Also, really quick, I got a few comments. Apparently, the dono sound is still...
Not working?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The whole time?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, my desktop audio was muted. I wish you should have told me earlier.
I should have told you.
That's all right. Sorry about
you were
that.
on a roll. I didn't want to...
X-Slayer, thank you for the $1 donation. Really enjoyed this episode. Great way to develop Gakuto's character, even if that gig was really stupid. Happy to see Nail duel again with his maximum. Can't wait for Yuga versus Rook. But gotta ask, why did you kill Piplup and time out Maddie? Well, Nick T timed out Maddie.
For 5 seconds.
Maddie got a little crazy with the the crazy insane cheers.
Yeah, and Dill said somebody's got to stop him.
Yeah, that was a
Is this
complete.
the last night? Did I
Yeah,
miss this?
yeah, you did. That was a complete joke timeout, obviously.
I think Maddie knows that too.
Yeah, it was a complete meme. I wasn't. I think she wants to go.
No, I left the door open on purpose.
Oh, that was
I know
smart.
she works.
That was smart. And what was I gonna say? Yeah, I killed Piplup in my Heart Gold Nuzlocke on Twitch last night. But I agree, X-Slayer. Loved the episode. Thank you for the donation. Limestone, thank you for the $8 donation. Thank you so much, Limestone. Watching Gakuto was painful, but I'm happy with how things turned out. Wonder if the medallion is going to be a permanent part of his outfit. I could see him keeping the medallion.
Yeah,
I wouldn't mind that. I really wouldn't mind that at all. And really looking forward to Yuga versus Rook. I agree. This is a duel this is a rematch I've been waiting for 50 episodes now.
Yeah.
So
Literally.
I'm
Holy crap.
really excited. And this just feels like it has duel of the anime potential.
Absolutely.
It does. There's a few duels. There's probably about 5 to 10 duels that happen where you're like, this could be the duel of the anime. Going into Shun versus Sora, I kind of had that feeling. Going into Revolver versus Soulburner, I had that feeling. This has duel of the anime potential. So we'll see.
I
kind of
felt that going into Revolver Lightning too.
Yeah,
That was a moment
I
I
would
was
say
like,
that's a
ooh.
top 5 for me. Yeah, I would agree with that. I agree
I
with
think
that.
it was a really good win on.
I think
Lightning,
Playmaker
so.
versus.
He did win.
I think Playmaker versus I had that sort of. Well, no, Revolver lost that duel.
Oh yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Lightning did
Yeah,
win.
yeah, that's what I said. It was
Lightning
good. It was
won,
good
yeah.
win,
Lightning
win for
Well, yeah, of
Lightning,
course,
yeah.
1 life point to 0.
But
Yeah.
I mean, you probably don't like talking about that show though. You're not a big brain.
That's right.
You
That's
are
right.
a Brains hater.
Right. I made one video last weekend or 2 weekends ago, just discussing about how I didn't love how the final season was rushed and how I felt it was a very rushed season. And I saw on Twitter, people were subtweeting me on Twitter, which happens,
Hey, bro.
about how I've always been a Brains hater. I've always hated Brains.
Love
it. This podcast started because of Yu-Gi-Oh! Brains.
Yeah.
Because I wanted to
We're
discuss it.
the only podcast of that kind for Yu-Gi-Oh!
Right, but I've always hated Yu-Gi-Oh! Brains. All right, people are yeah, right. That's Legendary Duels. So Limestone, thank you so much.
That's true.
Megan Karibo, thank you for the Satanic 666
Yes.
donation. Hi, Dill, Nick T, and Pete.
Thank you. I appreciate
Finally,
it.
can watch this live weeks after work. We're happy to have you back, my friend. Other than Gakuting, I thought this episode was great for Gakuto, and the way he pulled a draw was badass. I agree. Still not a huge fan of Ronze. Wish she went on her own path. She very well might go on her own path, maybe at some point in the future, but for now, she is back under Gakuto's wing. Mega, I completely agree. I think this was a great result for Gakuto. I also think this is a fine result for Nail. I mean, that was a hot take that people had about how Nail was all of a sudden.
He's 1 win, 1 draw, 1 loss.
And the draw,
His career.
he dominated that duel.
And we also know
Dominated.
he annihilated people just like both of these teams did throughout the entire tournament.
Right.
Yes.
And he's the only one we got a glimpse of fighting anyone else.
Right, exactly.
So
That's
I'm
a
not
crazy take.
questioning his dueling.
No,
he's
I
a
don't
great
think you
duelist.
should.
Great
Mega, thank you so much, and Limestone, thank you guys for the generous donations. Solid Snack, thank you for the $1 dono. Appreciate it, Sora. Gakuting is king. This episode honestly made me really like Gakuto, and he discarded his drip for his old overeager theater kid attire. Super solid duel though, and I can't wait for the final match. Even if I'm now 99% sure on who wins, hope Otis drops some deets. It'll be very disappointing, and thank you for the donation, Solid Snack, if Otis shows up but doesn't drop any details.
Oh, I'd be so
I think
angry.
Otis is the one who needs to drop the deets.
Definitely.
And I disagree with you guys. I actually think, much like he interrupted Nail when Nail was hacking into the system, many years ago, I think he's going to show up by interrupting Geta and his team.
I just don't think
I disagree with you guys
they're
there.
important enough.
But I think they are important enough in this upcoming episode because they're going to be the ones who know why this tournament is happening. And that is all of a sudden the most important information
the only
of the
way
arc.
I could see that happening is to not break the structure of the episode, in the sense that the writers themselves want Yuga Rook to conclude with the winner, so they don't want any interruptions of that.
Right.
Yeah, well, even if Yuga and Rook figure out what the tournament is going on, why the tournament is going on, I still can see them finishing it out. The only way this duel to me does not finish is if the threat or the villain literally shows up at the stadium and starts, destroying stuff.
Otis did come in episode 13 with Roa.
It was episode 12, yes, but in that duel.
Yeah, into 13, and I mean, they didn't care. They just kept going.
They kept dueling.
Yeah.
And Otis had a huge plot drop. I think that's going to happen in this duel as well.
That's possible.
So,
I will also comment, as I said last week, that outfit is not drip.
I thought it was.
It's not.
Let's
just call it as it is.
It was fine, other than the dreads.
I don't have anything to add.
It was too far. I think I liked.
I wouldn't know.
But hey, to each his own. Some people liked it.
Some people liked it.
Good for
Sora, love you, man. Thank you for the donation. We're going to take a few more from the chat, and then we are going to preview Yuga Rook 51 summary and cast and make our predictions on the final duel of Season 1. Stick around for that.
All right. We got $11.11 from Sean Gilbride.
Shawnee! Thank you, Sean. Great to hear from you, man.
Yeah, no comment. Just,
no comment.
Just,
well, Sean, I hope you're feeling better, man. I know you've been kind of in and out of the ER this entire season,
oh my
it
God,
feels
that's
like.
right.
So, Sean, we think about you every time we go live, man, and, every time we're just talking. So
prayers for you, man.
Yeah, prayers for you, dude. Hope everything's going well. Thank you so much for the kind donation, dude.
I hope you're doing well.
Really appreciate it.
We have $5 from T Pinkstaff.
Thank you, Pinkstaff.
I think I might put this on my top 5 draws of Yu-Gi-Oh. What do you think, Dill?
Yeah, I've done a top 10 draws video, so you can actually go and watch that. And I was thinking about where I would rank this. This, to me, potentially is one of the best draw results I've ever seen.
Yeah.
I think the draw made a lot of sense. I think it did something that's very hard to do, because it made the better character still look dominant, while making the character who clearly was outmatched look really good too. Again, the Gakuting thing I think hurts the episode, but I thought Nail's turn when Gakuto was just trying to survive and persevere and defend, which is what the Sogetsu style is all about. I thought the symbolism there was great. This is one of those duel results where it was a draw, and I'm happy it was a draw. So I would agree. I have no problem putting that top 5. No problem at all.
Yeah, no, definitely. It was really entertaining the way they did that.
Yeah.
So
thank you, Pinkstaff. 2
things here. One, we have another donation. We have $5.31 from Sean Gilbride. Been binge watching 5Ds a lot since my birthday the other. Oh, okay. I didn't realize he addressed it there. Yeah. The other day, Memorial Day, May 31, and I was gonna say because Shah Ramzi said we should wish him happy birthday because his birthday was on the 31st. I didn't realize he said it here.
Happy belated.
But happy belated, Sean.
We have to sing.
Let's do it.
Quick pace.
It's the quick one.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Sean Gilbride. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, my man. I hope you had a great weekend.
Nailed the speed one.
That was fun. You really set the tempo there. Excuse me?
Shut up. Sean, thank you for the Superman, and happy birthday. Thank you for being such an amazing supporter of the
Hope you've been
podcast.
enjoying 5Ds.
Yes,
absolutely.
We have $5.
And please do refrain from posting any spoilers or summaries in the chat, because there are some people that did you do that?
What?
No, because there are some people that leave the podcast to avoid 51 summary.
Oh, I thought you were talking about 5Ds.
Yeah, the structure to this podcast is always we talk about the episode. We talk about the episode, and then we take some comments from the chat, and then we go into the 51 summary. And I know actually Legendary is one of them. There are a few people who always leave between the end of the current episode discussion and the preview of the next episode. So just be mindful of that. There are people who watch the first part of this podcast who do not want spoilers, so just be mindful of that.
Well said. We have $5 from Infernape Shinjo.
Infernape, thank you, my friend.
I'll just be lurking, but I wanted to support the podcast since I'm able to watch it live.
Infernape, thank you so much, man. I love everyone who lurks and chills and sits back. I do love the lurkers. And listen, you never have to feel obligated to, definitely donate. You never have to feel obligated to comment, even though I love hearing your guys' opinions. You can have this, you don't even need to be here live, but if you choose to go out of your way and listen to this on your drive to work or as background noise while you're gaming or something, I think that is so cool. So thank you so much for making this podcast a part of your life, a part of your week. And thank you so much for going above and beyond and donating. Really appreciate it, Infernape.
We have $7 from Ice Aiden.
We're going to do three more, and then we're going to the preview.
Cool. $7 from Ice Aiden.
Okay. Thank you, Ice Aiden.
Here is a bit more since I couldn't make it last week since I was at work. Also glad Gakuten was, I think meant Gakuting was temporary. They had massacred my boy.
Well, yeah, it was luckily very short. So if you liked it, you got a few minutes with it. If you didn't like it, you only had to deal with it for a few minutes. So
exactly.
I was not, again, the biggest fan, so I'm happy it was a little on the shorter side. Ice Aiden, even if you miss a week, man, do not feel like you have to make up for it the next week, dude. Thank you for a very generous $7 donation, and I hope you're having a great night, man. Thank you so much, dude.
Heck yeah. We have Batman666 with $6.66.
Thank you, my friend.
To compliment your video on Saturday, there's one female character I greatly despised for her role. Tsubaki Yaya? Did I pronounce that right?
Yeah, that's Psychopaths, that man? Hold on. Let me look. I'm pretty sure.
Yuyoi? I couldn't pronounce it. I also butchered the pronunciation, but it was Blaze Blue?
Oh yeah, I've never seen
I don't
the
know
show.
who the character is.
So I've never seen it. But right, that video on Saturday was
it's also a fighting game.
Was Yuzu, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I don't know anything about the character, but I'll definitely read up on her. Mm-hmm. But that man
seems interesting.
Thank you for the Satan donation. I appreciate it, dude.
Always love a good Satan donation.
Absolutely.
We have Nicholas Horton with £5.
Nick, thank you, Nick.
I wasn't expecting a draw, no result, and I still don't trust Flash and the other girls, and I still want them to drop the 13 episode length arcs.
Yeah, I think
agreed on that last part.
Yeah, definitely.
I've been saying that for a while.
I don't know if anyone who's watching currently, because I saw a discussion in my my Discord, and if you're a channel member, patron, Twitch sub, you have access to the Discord. I saw a conversation, and pretty much everyone in there was like, yeah, the 13 episode arcs are not really working. They're leaving a lot to be desired in terms of giving us a longer length for a payoff. I would agree with that. And listen, I think there's a good chance that might change going into season 2. I don't think it will.
It won't change in the first arc, I can tell you that.
Well, yeah, no, I mean, this arc is done.
So. No, I'm saying like in the first arc of the second season. Because we have to get to that episode 66 kind of thing, right? Because the next arc ends 65 and the next arc starts 66.
Well, we don't know that for sure, but we do know that the new mechanic is going to come out because the pack containing the new mechanic is coming out between 64 and 65, which would make sense because it could be a finale of that arc.
Right.
So,
true.
Yeah. So we don't know that for sure, but based on the release date of that pack, it seems like that's probably decently likely.
I do like the idea of them doing something on episode 66, though.
They also should do something big for episode 77, because that won't be the end of an arc, but it'll be right near the end. Like, I think the third to last episode.
It.
So that could be nice to have. Honestly, that could be a place you put, like, a recap episode. I know people hate that word.
Right.
But like, that would make sense to be like, here's the first 76 episodes of the show.
Yeah.
You know?
Could see that. Yeah, they haven't done a recap yet.
No,
It's
not one.
Nutty. Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Should we move on or should we do another, don't know. You said 3 more, so.
We'll do one more, yeah.
One more.
We'll do one more and then we'll get to the rest.
So we've got, this actually highlights a point you just made. We've got 5 more Real from Kai Scissor Campos. And he said, I know you hated Gakuting, but I like one thing. It didn't last all episode, and he used new cards based on his style and used a part of his outfit in the end. So we touched upon, like the which is the medallion. And yeah, if you hated it, it was gone pretty quickly. If you loved it, you got to see it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And I think that's why it was okay and it worked.
And that medallion almost became like a shield at the end of the
and
day
that
to
was
block and send back Neil's attack. So I really like that.
It almost took a bit of influence from that sort of premonition he got, which again was kind of weird. But
of him just going back to his ancestral
like,
past.
It's like, the lights
are
off.
He saw the vision of the future.
Yeah. I was like, wait a minute, like, am I hallucinating?
The future and the past connected. Yeah, that turning out light scene was
weird.
Odd, right?
There was 2 things.
Was that just all right, whatever, or was that like purposeful? Like they're gonna say like, well, this is
So-
exactly why they did it. You know?
I'm confused about that still. I thought that was kind of weird.
Yeah, I agree.
The lights went out and Otis stuck into the stadium.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, and that's what
Yeah,
we find
exactly.
out.
Yeah.
That could be it, honestly.
But like it was almost like a Deus Ex Machina where it's like, hey, like all of a sudden the lights go out just so Gakuto could see a premonition of his, ancestor, which would be weird, I think.
Yeah.
Um,
Probably more reason there.
This is the end of a donation that Nick wrote.
oh, thank you.
So we are going to get to 51. We have the summary, and to everyone who's donated, thank you. I know we have a lot more to get through. You guys are amazing. Really appreciate it. We have...
That was good.
That was
You
a
see
good-
that?
that was a good guy.
That was good.
I usually don't have the chat up.
That was good.
We have the summary and cast list for 51. Now, if you do not want any spoilers on episode 51, summary and cast list wise, now is your chance to get off the podcast. And do, well, that probably is it for the night. You can probably come back in like 20 minutes.
You should hit the sell button
Sell
to get
us
off the podcast.
But I promise you that the spoilers are not too bad. And don't worry, they're nice. We'll go over them together. We're going to break down everything we know about this episode. So here we go. 3, 2, 1, liftoff.
Ooh.
Oh god.
Episode 51, Road versus Door. Both Luke and Yuga's teams currently have the same amount of points. They both pledge to have a good duel with each other. Yuga will push forward on his road with Hyper Engine Vast Vulcan, while Luke will sprint down his door with Dragius the Striking Dragon. The final match, with the King of Duels title at stake, will now begin. The cast list, it's a long one, my friend. Yuga, Rook, Gakuto, Roman, Roa, Nail, Otis, Mimi, Umiko, Secretary, Asana, Galliant, Schwer, Braun, Leo, I Am a Seagull, Araya Rata, Tyrageta, Ronze, Renosuke, and extras. It is a long cast list.
Woo!
And that is the episode 51 summary and cast list. The first thing that is weird to me is the astronauts speaking. I don't know if they're going to be commentating on the duel.
They might just say,
But
yeah.
they might just say that. They very well might. But you have to remember that the last time we saw the astronaut team, there was some connection Yuga made with Seagull-chan's binoculars and what is going on with this event.
Right, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So is there something a little more darker with Seagull-chan
Oh.
and the astronauts?
She's a seagull, bro.
I think she is a seagull. I don't believe it, but I think it's very interesting that of all the teams that could be commentating on this duel, it's that team and not the Ramen Club or the Mad Max Club. It's that team. I think it's interesting. It might not mean anything.
Is the journalism club not speaking?
They're not speaking.
See, yeah, why not? Like,
Why not the
of all,
journalism club?
of all people to commentate, it could be the journalism club. So it's interesting that it's specifically the astronauts.
Yeah, and I just think it's fascinating because the last time the astronauts were involved in this show, Yuga realized something with her binoculars.
Right, yes.
And Otis is coming. We know there has to be some major details coming up. So I think that, I don't know, I think there maybe is something there to analyze and pick up.
I think so.
So what do
too.
you guys make of it?
I mean, it's too soon now for me to guess anything. I mean, I think there could be
Okay.
a possible connection.
You see how
to the-
pissed I look?
Dude, bro, it's not that big a deal.
Dude, if Seagull-chan... Am I the only one that really likes Seagull-chan?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, well then...
I thought, like, when it was happening, I thought the other than Yugioh, that the apocalyptic club was bad. No, the astronauts are probably the lowest in the totem pole, I think.
Really?
Oh yeah.
You didn't find it funny
I found it hysterical.
where she was saying, I'm a seagull.
I think it was very funny.
I think that's the only line she delivered.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts
and
on
they planted a ladder.
Seagull.
Yeah, I don't want to know anything about your thoughts on Yuga Rook. I want to know your thoughts specifically on Seagull-chan.
I mean, really?
I'm kidding. I'm
Like,
kidding. No, do you make anything there? Do you think I'm crazy for pointing that out, or do you think there might be something?
I think there's a
legitimate there?
possibility. I mean, clearly, whether it's a joke or not, we're going to get back to, at some point, whether it's this season or next season, why he looked peculiar at the sunglasses. I mean, at the binoculars,
Binos,
and looked at them and was just like almost inquisitive, like, well, that means something that I can.
Right after reading the note.
Yeah, there was something odd there. Now, is it a metaphor, which is something we discussed?
Yeah.
I think it
or
is.
is
I
it
still take it that
actually
way.
yeah, or is it actually something of like, this connects the astronaut group because of A, B, and C.
Right, which
I don't know.
could be possible. The way I took it, at least in the moment, was that he thinks we're being watched, and that's
that's
makes sense.
exactly I think what I said.
I agree with that
Yeah,
fully.
but, yeah.
I agree with that
Wow,
fully.
money.
They spoke at the end of 47, I believe it was, or 48, and so we'll see what role, if any, they have in this episode. Based on the summary, Yuga Rook, we don't really get anything into it. I just think it's going to be a good duel.
and I
But
can
Yuga is maximum. He is maximum.
I think I said at the time as well, he could also call back to his moment of meeting Asana. Maybe at some point a conversation was had that we know Asana used binoculars to initially spy on the group. So maybe he thinks back to that moment of, well, she gathered all this information on me by doing this.
Thank
That's clearly
you
what some
for
other party
the
did once
dono.
again.
Right.
And that's what has set all of this in motion.
Right.
So it could just be a memory trigger in that moment, too.
Yeah, I think you're right. Well, I mean, Mimi is speaking, but President Drone is not. So that's fascinating.
Well, I mean, kind of the same as with this past episode, though. Mimi had some speaking roles, and President Drone floated there while she was in the bathroom.
True, but I would imagine, or that was Roman Rowan.
Well,
That
and
was
then
that-
he-
I watched
she
I watched
also-
them both
She
today.
also floated around the stadium just fangirling over Roll Roman.
True. Yeah.
So, and she had the helmet on the whole time.
Yeah.
Well, chat, I think we have to make our picks. Yuga or Rook, season finale.
It's going to be hard.
Chat, you guys do not have to make your picks until Saturday at 5:30. You have to get them in by then.
Ones.
But we have to make our pick right now.
Going into the chat.
Okay.
She.
We write it in the chat so we can't change our picks.
We're writing it in just the...
I just sent where we have to write it. I hate my life.
I literally hate you.
All right.
Oh, yeah.
So the options obviously are Yuga, Rook,
Draw no
or
result.
draw no result.
That's a tough one.
We'll make our picks and then we'll discuss.
Whoa.
Huh.
Hey, as long as we beat Caliber.
That's really all that matters.
That's all
at the
that
end of the
matters.
day.
I'm between two, but
I'm between two as well.
two out of the three. One of them I just don't see happening.
Yeah.
But one of the two I'm between, I'm like, there's no way.
On season finale duels, Nick T. Pete and Caliber are 3-0. I'm 2-1. So those are our records on season
let's
finale
go.
duels. I picked draw no result for Yuga Roa. I thought
Yeah.
there was something weird was going to happen there. It's really just...
Could have a similar thought here.
Well, it is a similar thought. This really comes down to, do you think the tournament is going to get interrupted in a way that will cause a no result? Because remember, if the first duel, we're betting on the initial duel. So let's say this hypothetical happens. They start dueling, it gets canceled, and then a new duel begins between them. I don't think that would happen, but if it does, then the first duel that we're picking is a draw no result. So, are you guys ready?
Yeah, as ready as I'm ever going to be.
Okay. 3, 2, 1, send. Okay.
I like the extra detail
Yeah,
that you provide.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Okay.
You okay, man? You in?
I'm not. I'm
He
sick to my
doesn't
stomach.
like it because
He can't get ahead of us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sick to my stomach.
that's what I don't like.
Pete.
He doesn't like that I'm 1 point ahead of him.
No, now I'm 1 point ahead of you because I picked draw no result for Neil.
Did you actually?
I did.
Yeah, you got him.
I bet it on the 770, but it's okay. We're gonna go back and forth.
Yeah,
But remember, you're still behind me. Don't forget about
way behind you.
yeah, dude. You got this. You're winning the PS5.
Well, that's not even possible. That's actually rubbing that in.
Okay. So, Pete, do you want to start with your pick?
Yeah, sure. I went with Yuga. I kind of went back and forth between Yuga / draw / no result because I do think there is a decent sized chance that we could have something unpredictable happen, whether an antagonist group comes in or Otis straight up interrupts it. Just because it feels a little early in a stadium full of people in front of the entire world, seemingly, at least Goha city, to go, hey, here's the king of duels. It's Yuga or it's Rook.
Yeah.
However, and I might regret this. I just don't see them going back-to-back draws to finish this tournament. I think that would be very bold.
I'm not worried about a draw. I'm worried about a no result.
Yeah,
that's
but
what I'm worried about.
Draw or no result, just not having an actual winner only one time out of these 3 final duels. I just don't see that happening. I think you set up everything at 770 for a reason, and we got to get to that magic number 777. So with all of that, I'm picking Yuga to get his revenge and beat Rook this time.
Pete has picked Yuga. Calibro picked Yuga as well. Calibro's not here. He's picked Yuga as well.
No reason.
No reason. Nick T, your pick.
I also went back and forth a lot. I know I kind of held on the idea that the duel would be interrupted. I still think it's possible, but I kind of had to go with my gut here. And I think Yuga's going to win it. I think for a few reasons. I think, you know, we had that really beautiful moment at the beginning of the show. Rook beats Yuga in a pretty meaningful duel there, like that kind of begins a long journey between Yuga and Rook, and I think now it just makes sense to have Yuga sort of repay that favor and come up on top from Rook. But I think, and I've been getting this feeling for a while now, that the whole King of Duels thing is a short-term goal. I don't think it matters that one or the other gets it. I mean, I predict that Yuga will get it, but I think that's only like our first goal of the show. I don't think it's going to be the end goal of anything. Like, he's going to find that he has this thing, and then we're going to find out a whole lot more is actually going on. And sure, he's King of Duels, but what does that really mean?
I mean, we're still looking to that door. That
exactly.
They said.
I think there's going to be a lot more important, like the door.
We have the artifacts, the 7 artifacts that we never came back to.
Who's doing this tournament, which could be someone really
What is
serious.
Otis's real intention?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So
that's a good point.
I think we're going to find out that Yuga's going to be the king of duels, and then we're just going to move on from there. He's going to use this new title, better himself, and we're going to take down what's next.
And there's no saying that if Rook loses, that he can't easily just rematch his friend and go, "Hey, you owe me a rematch." He's pulling the old fighter card, the rematch clause.
Yeah, absolutely.
Who says again?
Absolutely. In fact, I think he will. I think that will happen
several times. Definitely got a duel
because they have, especially now, developed this really great rivalry between another, and it's a mutual respect. They're great friends. They're ready and excited to duel each other, and they will, even once one of them gets crowned the King of Duels, they will continue to be excited to duel each other. That will never change.
So this just seems like such a trap duel.
It does.
I'm going to just get my pick out of the way. I picked Yuga. I have very little confidence in that pick, but I don't have any confidence in any of these picks. So we all went with Yuga. I'm going with Yuga based on him, losing to Rook earlier, and it's the end of the season. It's the end of the arc. That makes me just think that Yuga's going to win. But I remember Yu-Gi-Oh! Zexal, and they haven't watched Zexal, but I'm sure a few of you guys had. The end of that first season, when Yuma was getting ready to duel Kaito again right after they had defeated, the big bad, and everyone was like, including myself, all right, Yuma's going to get his win against Kaito. That's how the season's going to end. It just makes sense. Kaito smoked him earlier in the show. Yuma's going to get his rematch win, even though that duel was technically a no result. And I just remember the shock in the community back in 2011 when Kaito beat Yuma to end the season. I think about Yuya versus Reiji in Arc 5. I mean, that was another duel where, Yuya, I guess, technically won the first duel because Reiji kind of gave up. But then Reiji smoked Yuya right before they go into the Synchro arc. It's not unheard of for your, I guess, rival character. I don't know who the rival is in the show. I don't even know if it has a traditional rival to beat the protagonist. And so could I see Rook beating Yuga again here to complete his dreams? Because being King of Duels means more to Rook than it does Yuga. True. Absolutely. I absolutely could. I could see them doing something like that. Could I also see Otis interrupting this tournament, and right when the final result is going to get shown, they do some, Yugi versus Joey stuff where they don't even show how the duel ends or it gets interrupted, or, Blood Shepherd and Soul Burner when Emma interrupted that duel, and all of a sudden, we don't know who is going to win, but there's a more serious threat going on, as the full villain plot comes out. I can absolutely see that happening as well, and that's a
You
no result.
remember that where it's Emma does that, and then Blood Shepherd was mad about that? We get that whole shot for about like 12 to 13 episodes. We never figure out what happened.
Yeah, we don't know how that shot ended. Yeah. I think the writers legitimately forgot that that's where they left off with those characters.
That was interesting. Yeah. And we theorized about that, and then
we talked about
a bunch of clowns. We were a bunch of clowns.
We put on the clown makeup.
Vrain's made shows like this look really, really silly. Because we would spend the Hanoi Spy. How many hours did we spend talking about the
I don't want to talk about it.
I almost just dropped the F-bomb. The Hanoi Spy. That's why with Sevens, I at least appreciate that we can toss out these crazy theories, and there might be some legitimacy.
Exactly. And that's why I know you hate Vrains.
Yeah, I was going to say, I mean, he's really trashing Vrains. Right
Oh, man. I could see this going anyway. I mean, there's some people that are very confident Yuga's going to win this. I don't agree with that at all.
I'm not confident.
I'm not saying like I'm on top of the world.
I wasn't talking about you guys. I was just talking about people in the community. I had to pick Yuga because I just feel like that's where I'm leaning towards. But this is like a solid 40-30-30 for me. I don't know. I'm nervous about this one.
I'm also nervous.
But that's what makes it fantastic because I have no idea what's going to happen. To me, this is not really predictable at all.
No,
I don't know what's going to happen.
I just don't really see a way Rook wins outright.
See, I disagree with that.
I just don't.
I could see Rook winning. If Rook winning now would mean so much more because he'd be beating Yuga.
He's just gonna go.
Who had a maximum?
He's gonna pull a Usaku. He's just gonna keep going.
No, I think he will lose.
When?
Well, I think he could lose to his sister. I think he could lose to someone like Seagull-chan. I think he could lose to maybe the next villain of season 2.
Shut up. I'm done.
I thought I could sneak that one in. But this is a good time for him to lose. I'm not going to argue that.
Yeah, it makes sense.
And this is a good time for him to lose. I wouldn't look at this and say this was not the right time to give Rook a loss. But it's kind of like Undertaker's undefeated streak. You almost don't want it to end because then every duel that happens after that, there's just a little more anxiety. Like, is this the moment? You know. But I'm picking Yuga, but I'm hoping it's going to be a good duel, and I'm hoping it's going to be unpredictable. And I bet you $1 it's going to be unpredictable. There's going to be a lot of twists and turns because this duel. Not only does this duel have to be great and conclude the first season, this duel has to set up for season 2 as well.
Yep,
sure.
This duel has a lot of weight on it that we're not talking about, and I think that they're going to hit it out of the park. I have high hopes for this one. I really do. I do.
Yeah, it's one of those duels, and I think I said the same thing about Tiger Asana, that no matter if I'm right or wrong about the outcome of this duel, I'm just really looking forward to watching it.
Yeah, I would agree. What is chat saying? Where's chat leaning? And make sure you submit your picks. ! Pick'em. You can. I
got a lot of mixed reactions. A lot of Rooks, actually. A lot.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm not. Yeah. Listen. A lot of Rooks.
A lot of Rooks.
Yeah. You're seeing the same, Pete?
Yeah.
Wow.
I mean,
the pick'em's going to be interesting. I'm even though I picked Yuga, I'm rooting for Rook. I'm rooting for Rook.
All right.
I'm rooting for what?
No,
I'm rooting for that team to win. I think it would be a great story if Rook, Roman, and Gakuto ended up taking down the super team. Right.
I mean, they're pretty good themselves.
They are very good. Yeah, they are very good themselves. But I mean, come on, this is a super team. This is like a AAA team going up against a major leaguer.
I don't know about that.
What?
I think that's a
a little demeaning, don't you think?
Nah, I'm not for that one. I mean, I'm surprised Caliber didn't put Rook. I mean, he loves Rook coffee. He has the stickers all over his car.
Now he has to take.
Well, listen, I try not to pick with my heart. You pick with your heart.
I thought you were going to say you try not to pick with Caliber, because I agree. He's a flimsy guy.
Well, I agree with that, too. But you pick with your heart. That's how you end up picking YUGIOHPICKEM to beat Bowman. So, like...
Did you do that, though?
I did do that. Let's not... And I think Nick T did it, too. Let's not pick with our hearts here. When I picked Roa to beat Roman, I was still rooting for Roman. My pick, by the way, does not at all indicate who I want to win. I should probably say that. Even though I'm picking Yuga, I think it would be really cool if Rook wins. I think I might even prefer a no result over a Yuga win, to be honest. So,
wow.
Yeah, I'm excited.
This guy's a jerk.
I'm excited.
How would you feel if like a nuke hits the stadium and that's how the season ends?
Yeah, that's a no result, and everyone dies. So
How about
for that.
And then next season we just have all new characters. Just drop us right in.
I don't think that will happen. I'm pretty confident that's not gonna happen.
You never know.
Never know, man. Well, 2 weeks we're going to be talking about all the fallout from season 1 with special guest Entame from Entame Subs. She's been on for the past 2 season finales, or arc finales, I should say. It'll be a lot of fun to have her on.
A couple people also saying the rule of left and right as well.
It's fascinating,
Yeah.
and I didn't comment on that. And the reason I didn't comment on that is because I think the team structure kind of skews this one a little bit. The good team is on the right. The team that's maybe not good is on the left. And I think that the team that they want you to root for is 3 of the characters that we've been with the whole show.
Yeah.
Obviously, they want you to root for Roman against Roa. Roa plays more of a heel role. And they want you to root for Gakuto against Nail. Nail is the main threat of arc number 2. So and they're not going to switch it at the last minute because the Yuga's team's been on the left, Rook's team's been on the right. I don't look too much into that because I think the team skews it a bit, but it is weird seeing the pro tag duel on the left side. It's something we're not really used to, so that is kind of strange. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I guess we'll take some more. Do we have any on the link?
I think we do have at least one on the link.
Let me check link. Thank you guys all so much for being here.
be wrong,
Michael
yeah.
Mirab, thank you for the $1 donation. Back with another fun fact. Gakuto's VA, which I knew this, also voices Kamado Tanjiro, the protagonist of Demon Slayer.
Oh.
Probably not a direct reference, but that character also sees visions involving his ancestors so he can find a path to victory. That's actually pretty cool.
I like
That's
that.
pretty cool. Hope you're all doing well. Michael, we're all doing very well. Thank
Yeah,
you,
we're doing
Michael,
great.
for
Thank
the
you.
donation. Greatly appreciate it, my friend.
That is awesome. Maybe it is a reference. Who knows?
Could be.
It makes
Either
sense.
way, his characters
I
have...
guess it is kind of a trope, though, like which is a fine thing, but it is a trope that, like, oh, you see your like visions of your ancestors, you do better.
Yeah, it's cool.
I'm just gonna jump ahead really quickly because I don't know, he may or may not have gone, but 15 donated $10, saying, "Hey guys, I'm in Ocean City with my wife. My birthday's tomorrow. Love you guys. Can't wait to meet you, Dylan."
Well, hopefully he's still here. We'll do a
Yeah,
quick birthday song.
absolutely.
15, thank you for the generous donation. 3, 2, 1. Happy birthday
birthday
to
to
you.
you.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, 15. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, my friend. Thank you for the donation. Enjoy Ocean City. I don't know if it's Maryland or Jersey. I love Ocean City, Maryland. Never been to Ocean City, New Jersey. Either way, I hope you're having a great time with your family, man. Thank you so much for coming by. Thank you for donating. And have a great birthday tomorrow, dude. Awesome to hear from you.
That
Happy
is awesome.
birthday
Yeah,
to
I think
you.
I mean, he is a local guy. He might do. Might be Jersey.
Yeah, could be. Well, Ocean City, Maryland's not far.
Yeah, that's right. It's not far. We have $20 from
Oh.
Joseph Citadine.
Oh, Joseph. Thank you, Joseph.
Question. Do you think the President Drone will end up being the big bad, or do you think there will be Goha shareholders above them? In my own Sevens fanfic, I play with the idea of Goha majority shareholder as an enemy.
So, good question, Joseph. I always appreciate seeing your theories on the Discord. Thank you for that donation. That's a very big
Yes,
donation.
yeah,
Thank you
nice.
for the $20 donation. This is a quick one that we can all answer.
Yeah.
I do not think Mr. Goha will end up being the big final bad.
Nope.
I think it's going to be whoever is directing these aliens. That's my bold
I
prediction
know.
on that.
Yeah, you have been sticking with that one.
Yeah, that's my bold prediction on that. I think they're the real threat. And I don't think it'll have anything to do with Goha Corporation. I don't think it'll have anything to do with Goha.
Yeah, I don't think it will either. Yeah, I don't think it will either, to be honest. I think it's going to be some other third party. Well, to say not related to Goha Corporation, I'm not sure because I think it's going to have something to do with Otis, who, by extension, has something to do with Goha. So, but I think Otis will
I think Otis will be the big bad.
No, but I think he will have a large part to play
Okay.
there.
Love
Whether
it.
it's directly opposite of our big bad or, I don't know, in cahoots, who knows?
Love it. Pete. Mr. Goha, final villain?
No, he just doesn't give me the vibes. I do think there's something darker to him.
Yeah,
He
I
killed
agree.
somebody.
Yeah. However, I just don't think he'll end up.
Will
Still,
it be someone above Goha?
I still contend it is some other entity that we have not met yet.
Okay, fair. Joseph, thank you for the generous donation. Keep theorizing, my friend. I appreciate it. We love theories. Love theories.
We have 5 more real from Kaio Cesar Campos.
Kaio, thank you very much.
So I think this is on the Gakuto thing. I can see he's changing his style and keeps adding new cards in his deck, making him diverse. Besides all that, we really love. Oh, I really love the duel. The duel script was 10 out of 10.
Yeah.
I think it really ended up being a great duel in the end.
Yeah, you remove that Gakuting element, and I think I'd be much higher on the episode. I thought it was still a very good episode, but I think I'd be much higher on it. Yeah. Your thoughts?
I'm sorry, I was doing something. What
No,
was the
it's
question?
fine, it's fine. Just did you the dueling script? Kyle believes was 10 out of 10. Dueling action alone. Did you like the duel?
I actually thought the duel had a little bit more growth it needed. I just thought that the antics in the beginning kind of took away a little bit from the duel, and I thought Nail's turns were fantastic. I thought Gakuto's last turn was fantastic, but I would have liked to see a little bit more back and forth than just 100 life points from Nail, and then boom, he's wiped off the floor.
Yeah.
I would have liked to see a little bit more.
That's fair. I personally liked it a lot.
Even if you don't lose any life points, just him kind of shutting it down over and over, Nail, and just having cards to negate and stop monster attacks or save his monsters. I want a little bit more of that.
Yeah.
But I'd probably give like 8.5 out of 10.
That's fair. Yeah, I'd probably go that range as well. But good constructive criticism. Thank you, Kyle.
We have €2 from Brahim Esadiki.
Brahim, thank you, Brahim.
Nice. Remember, guys, Sushiko over Roman over Yuga and Roa.
Well,
Wow.
that's exactly why.
That's it. That's how win-losses work.
Well,
Because
exactly.
This character
And
beats
that's-
this character, they're better than all.
And that's exactly why. And great point out there, Brahim. And that's exactly why
Sushiko is supreme.
I went over. I went over that. That little rant in the beginning.
A little bit.
Because I was like, we cannot. And I know that comment was made in satire. We cannot reduce characters to wins losses. The clock guy from 5Ds is all of a sudden a powerhouse. Yami Bakura is a tragedy.
Thank
Zone
you
is a travesty.
for
I
the
like that.
dono.
We
Travesty
can't
is tragedy.
just judge characters
He
on
does
wins
that all
losses.
the time.
Otherwise, Sushiko is at like the top of the power rankings. You can't do that. I like Sushiko, but you can't do that. Come on.
No, I mean, she's had literally one duel.
Yeah.
And she was...
Now, if her next duel is against like Gakuto and
Fair.
she wins, then all of a sudden I'm
but
like,
her
oh,
deck also was
something's there.
specifically there to counter Roman.
Yeah.
So, at the end of the
Exactly.
day, they fought over a TV remote. Doesn't
I agree.
really matter.
Yeah, exactly.
I agree.
That's the context is way more important than the outcome.
Yep, absolutely.
We have $20 from Dylan Adams.
My fellow Dylan. Dylan, thank you
Another
so
Dylan.
much, dude. Thank you.
Really liked the episode. Still like the last one more. Fair. Gakuto is almost perfect and is my favorite of the main cast. I'd still really like to see Neil duel without the use of his maximum.
Yeah, the maximum is so synonymous with Nail.
I know,
Right,
I
but-
can't see him with...
When he started the duel, and we clearly knew he was building up the Yugioh Dragon, but when he used another monster that had like 2,400 attack points, I was like, cool. We're getting away from the thing that I've criticized Yuga with his reliance he had early on Seven's Road Magician. Let's use some other cards. I want to see
Thank
your
you
duel field
for
outside of
the
technique
dono.
you've created. So as much as I love Nail, I could agree with that.
I don't fully disagree with that, but I don't know if we're ever gonna see it.
Probably
That's-
not.
Yeah, because it's just so synonymous with Nail. I mean, he did create maximum. That being said, though, Dylan, I don't disagree with you at all. And I think I liked this episode more than Roman Roa a little bit. I think I liked the duel in Roman Roa a little more, but I think what I liked about this episode that put it ahead of Roman Roa for me was the Gakuto backstory and just how much we learned about the Sogetsu style and how much we saw Gakuto kind of grow in this episode. And to fend off Nail, I thought was just crazy impressive. I'm very impressed with Roman being able to defeat Roa, but as I said last week, her dueling win quality is right now very high above her character development.
Sure.
I don't really feel that way with Gakuto. And maybe that's because Gakuto has not beaten Yuga. He didn't beat Neil.
Right.
So I feel like his development is pretty good
it's a pretty
with the
even trajectory.
results.
Yes,
yeah. So
I definitely agree.
I think that's what I kind of appreciated a little more. But Dylan, huge donation. Thank you so much, dude. Greatly appreciate it, man. Hope you're having a great week.
Absolutely. Yeah, to your point, I think I would say he's like the most balanced character in that way, whereas his development and wins are like on a pretty
it's
decent.
solid.
It's solid, but it's not like none is wows you.
Yeah, because his most impressive win, I would say, is against Galleons.
Exactly.
But I would say this is his most impressive result. It's not even a win.
Exactly.
So it works a little better.
Love that about him.
Yeah.
We have 5 real from Caio Cesar Campos.
Kaio, thank you, my man.
Gakuto for his team focused in not lose, put cards to protect and follow a strategy to beat the maximum. Gakuto was more protag than Yuga in this episode. I could see he kind of put the team on his back, I guess, to try to just not to lose.
Yeah.
The goal wasn't winning.
I mean,
it just don't
to the
lose.
he's
next duel.
automatically, and this is a criticism I've had with Maximums, is he's automatically at a disadvantage because he doesn't have one.
Massive
the same
disadvantage.
situation that Rook and Yuga are going to have going into this next duel.
Massive
So
disadvantage.
how do you counter that? I think really showcases your skills as a duelist. I think Gakuto clearly showed those off this episode.
Agreed. Kaio, thank you, my man.
Yeah, I like that because it's true. Yeah, he's like, just don't lose.
Yeah.
He did all he could to not lose, and he succeeded.
I agree.
We have $5 Australian from Electric Kevin.
Thank you, Kevin.
A big win for us Gakuto fans.
Yep.
Our boy hasn't lost since to Roman in episode 11.
It's quietly, and you brought this up last week on Friday, he's quietly been on the maybe hottest streak in the show.
He's heating up.
I think he
He's
has
heating
been.
up.
I think he
Yeah.
has been because I think his results since episode 9 have been better than I would argue maybe like even Rook's. I mean, yes, Rook hasn't lost, but neither has Gakuto. And I think Galliant is a more legitimate duelist than Schwer was. So I would give Gakuto a little bit of a nod there. And I even think Ronze is a little bit more of a duelist than Rook has versed so far. I mean, Rook has, as I've said, versed a lot of, I think, cupcake duelists. That's the term I used last week. I stand by that.
Tasty.
But he is undefeated, and he does have that. And I think it's going to be very interesting seeing him in what I'm viewing as his first legitimate opponent since episode 2. Since episode 2.
Yeah.
So I'm very interested to see how Rook duels next week.
Absolutely.
But Kevin, thank you, my man. Big win for Gakuto.
$20
Holy
from
shit.
Drago77.
It's like our third 20. Drago,
Drago's
thank you, dude.
been on
Drago's
fire.
been crazy. Yes, I'm done. Drago, thank you.
Hey Dylan, saw the video about Yuzu and completely agree with your points. I hope that the new writers don't do the same for Roman for future seasons. Even if she doesn't do well there, you hope her character doesn't fall off.
Yeah. Let me just say this, by the way. You could kill off Roman's character next week, and I still think she's way better than
That'd be violent.
a heavy
That's why he
majority.
asked Will a character.
A heavy majority of the girls that have been written from Studio Gallop. So I'm not worried about it at all. There have been no signs with any, not only girls, any of their characters that they're just going to be completely squandered and forgotten about. I'm not worried about that with Sevens at all. With Yu-Gi-Oh! It had been a trend for a while. With Arc 5, it wasn't just Yuzu, it was a lot of characters. I just thought what happened with Yuzu and Yuri was a complete train wreck. As I said in that video, I uploaded that on Saturday. If some of you haven't checked it out, but you want to, just kind of a rant on Yuzu and just feeling she deserved a lot better. Right. YUGIOHPICKEM, we saw the same thing. I have no fear. First of all, I'm happy you enjoyed the video. Drago, I have no fear at all that anything like that's going to happen to any of the characters in Yu-Gi-Oh! 7s. I'm very confident in this writing team. And yeah, I'm happy you enjoyed the video. There were people on my Twitch stream that came by the following day, and we're talking about how my channel was devolving into a very negative, hateful channel. Which,
Your channel?
Yeah, because of that, I guess, you know, what?
It's been an interesting couple months, especially the last month
For people that are
here
in
in the community.
Yeah, I know. I mean, Entame and their
Yeah.
team have been dealing with some shit. And that I really had to bite my tongue, and I was just saying, like, that, you are absolutely crazy if you think this channel is a negative channel. Yeah. That is one of the craziest things I've ever heard. First of all, I've only done about 5 rant videos. I've uploaded almost 1,000 videos to this channel. And
That's crazy to think about.
You go on Reddit, you go on 4chan, you go on Twitter, and you watch my content and tell me if I'm still being negative, because that is absolutely a crazy thing to think. But I do like making those rant style videos because I think it's fine criticizing. Actually, Entame said something that I thought was beautifully said in the Discord. If you love something, if you're passionate about something, obviously I'm passionate about all of the anime. Criticizing it and wishing it did better, that's a form of loving it. Mm-hmm. Right?
Yeah, I know, absolutely. I think
otherwise you're living in an echo chamber.
Yeah, and then like to only praise something is to be fine with the way it is.
Right.
To be content that it's keeping with the status quo and it will never be better than it is.
Right. So that's crazy.
Yeah. I mean, T Pinkstaff said it best. You're the most hateful person in the Yu-Gi-Oh community. Clarify that they were joking, but
I know you're joking.
Need the clarification.
No, I know you're joking.
Obvious,
I know you're joking. People that are subtweeting me on Twitter though, they're not joking.
They're not joking. And I've been on the Reddit too, and my God.
Oh, the Sevens Reddit?
Oh yeah.
I haven't
Don't
been
go
on.
there.
No, I haven't been on.
Well, no, there's just like I don't know if I've been on a Sevens Reddit, but I have been on just like the general Yu-Gi-Oh, and every time Sevens comes up, my God.
You would think that the
it's a flashpoint.
You would think that the writers of this show broke into people's homes and stabbed their parents.
They're running a child trafficking ring.
That's what you would think
is happening.
I mean, it is insane how personally some people
listen,
feel attacked.
If you don't like the show, it's 100% okay.
I agree.
Yeah.
Then just don't watch it.
I agree.
There's a ton of shows out there that people go, I love this show, dude, watch it. I watch a couple episodes and I go, not for me.
Right.
And that's it. And you end the show.
And that's it.
And you call it a day. I don't go, you know what, let me spend all my time going to those
For the next
show I don't watch and go,
52 weeks.
this show is absolute trash.
People-
You have
people-
no idea about taste.
People
And
are
I'm like,
still
okay.
tweeting about that 52 weeks later.
Yeah.
What are you doing with your life?
Yeah, I know.
Oh man, it's just crazy.
That's what you do, isn't it?
That's my YouTube channel.
Dylan's got a burner account.
He's the one creating the controversy. He's subtweeting himself. That's fourth wall.
Genius. Oh
That's
my god, Dylan's
that's-
playing 4D chess.
That's
here.
what I'm doing.
I like this guy.
I'm,
This guy's the new
I'm
Nail.
doing stuff around the clock.
Dylan's
I got
got
time for that.
8,000 burner Twitter accounts, and he's having
That's impressive.
conversations with himself
Yeah.
about his
This
channel.
guy's Kevin Durant. I mean,
This guy
he's a
figured
little
it
bit of
out.
a snake.
He figured it out. Thank you. Anyway, thank you so much for the donation. Very generous. I appreciate it. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed that YouTube video.
Absolutely. We have. Oh, I went too far back down. Another 5 from Drago77 Blue.
Drago, you're crazy. Thank you, Drago.
Is there still hope that a new character such as the little girl from episode 2 will appear? I hope so, because I want to see her what her design looks like.
Yes!
Yeah, no, I'm
Yes!
on board. I'm on board.
Not only is she going to appear, Drago, she's the one that orchestrated this whole tournament.
Whoa.
I had to deal with this last week when you weren't here.
Let's go, baby.
Whoa.
Girl from episode 2.
Come on, man.
I'm fully on board, dude. I'm buying it.
You were
I'm buying
way too into that.
I'm buying it. I'm buying it. We're going. We're doing.
Wow, he bought.
You're gonna have a black and blue in your chest.
I'm pumped because I love when people bring up that girl because she is going to be vital to this story. Drago, thank you for another donation. And in all seriousness, I hope she does show up.
Oh my god, that's what I'm selling. I sold that one last week.
I know you sold it. I bought that dip, bro.
Yeah.
He bought the dip.
He jumped in a little bit of Dogecoin on that one.
Oh, did you?
No, I did not. We had a couple more in the link.
Yeah, go
Limestone, thank you for the $2 donation. Sub to the Patreon, thank you, but still don't have Empower to access the Discord. Limestone, I will make a post on my Discord, on my Patreon tonight. And thank you for the Patreon support. I think I actually showed Pete right when it happened. Maybe.
Yes.
Yeah. So thank you, Limestone.
Yes.
He just became a patron. So
Oh,
thank you,
sick.
Limestone. You get some cool perks if you want to check me out on Patreon. Link for that is in the description, including a Discord membership forever. So I will get you into that Discord, Limestone. Just look for a post on Patreon later tonight. And then X-Slayer, thank you for the $1 donation. What were your thoughts on Nail's new Cybers monster? Really looked scary. Also, if either Xyz, Synchro, Fusion, or any mechanic are to come back, which character do you want to master all of the mechanics, while the others master at least 1 or 2? So if let's say in some crazy hypothetical, X-Slayer, thank you for the donation, all those summoning mechanics all of a sudden came to Rush Duels. I don't think it'll happen. I don't even think X-Slayer thinks it'll happen. But let's say it happened. What character in the show do you want to see master all of those mechanics? Or could you see? To me, it would be Yuga.
Yeah, it's got to be Yuga.
Yeah, or maybe Rook. Maybe Rook. But, you know, the thing that made Akiba Reiji so great is because he was the rival and he was mastering them and he knew them from the beginning. To introduce all of them into the show and then to have someone learn it, I think that would be kind of
Yeah,
weird.
Yuga would make the most sense, but honestly, I would like to really see Rook do that. I just think the strong duelist he is, he cares about this a hell of a lot.
Yeah.
And so him mastering that, where he's always going to be viewed as second probably to Yuga, especially depending on what happens
This could be
the
his.
next couple episodes.
Yeah.
It would make sense by the end of the show. It'd be like, well, hey, he mastered and he's maybe even better than Yuga in some of those methods.
Yeah.
Exactly. I think that'd be really cool to see him be this really well-rounded character, and maybe not the bet a better duelist per se, but to be
He's more versatile.
exactly.
Or another way that I think it could work is if someone brings these mechanics to Rush Duels, have it be a new threat.
Yeah.
Have it be a villain that can use all these methods and you're like, holy
The
crap.
rush dimension, the maximum
Well,
dimension.
no, let's not. That's not.
See what I did there?
All of a sudden, Yu Sakaki is skateboarding down the street. That's the last
We're
thing we
open-
need.
Your mind might melt on a pre-show live stream. It might melt.
What would you do if a cast list came out and like Yusei Fudo was on the cast list? What would you do? I've thought about that since like the Arc 5 days. For
I
a
would
while.
immediately think it's a joke.
You wouldn't believe
I
it.
would think that it's someone dressing up as Yusei Fudo, and it's just gonna be a throw. I wouldn't take it seriously until it happened.
That'd be nuts.
Yeah.
That'd be crazy.
Yeah, that'd be nuts. It'll never happen. Don't
Well,
worry.
the door. I mean, the door. You know.
The door will be the door to. Well, with Link Vrains, we talked about that.
And Yusaku's coming through as the villain.
Right.
That was one of my early crack
Oh,
theories.
man.
Yeah, it doesn't.
He's mad. He couldn't find I.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I is really Mr. Goha.
Oh my
That's
god.
true.
All right, now we're getting into dangerous territory.
It's the
I'm stirring up the Reddit post. That's what I'm doing.
We're making a new iceberg, and it's all.
No, I can tell you, no one from Reddit watches this channel. I can promise you that. God, those Reddit people or something.
Bruh. We have 2 pounds from Alan Wilkinson.
Alan, thank you, my man.
Would be more interesting to see Rook. Question. It's would be more interesting to see Rook lose to Yuga.
I think it would be more interesting to see anything but Yuga winning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yuga winning, I think, is the favorite. I don't think it's that big of a favorite, but
I think it would be very fascinating if Rook outright won.
if Rook beat Yuga,
Oh,
that would be one of the more shocking results in Yu-Gi-Oh. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
that could take a very interesting storyline. That could be kind of cool.
That's why I kind of want it to happen. I think
Yeah.
that would be really, really interesting. But Alan, thank you, my man. Hope you're having a good night. Got some rest. I think Alan's in the UK.
I think so. Yeah, with pounds.
Got
I
some
think
rest,
so.
my man. It's getting late.
Yeah, so it's what, like 3:30 over there?
Yeah, it's not early. I'll say that. I don't know why I said that. We have 2 Real from Kaya Cesar Campos.
Thank you, Kyle.
The big Q question here is the big question here is why 3 people per team.
Yeah, I don't know what the symbolism of 3 means, but I think the answer to that, Kaio, I don't know if there's a specific reason. I don't think there is. I think they just painted themselves into a very early picture and maybe a little bit of a corner with the whole 3 thing. The Newspaper Club has 3 people. The Mad Max Club has 3 people. The Dino Club has 3 people. The Astronaut Club, which was introduced much later on, has 3 people. We've seen that theme of 3s throughout the show, and so I think it just feels natural and makes sense when the tournament begins to have a team of 3, to have them be teams of 3. I want a tournament that's legitimately just a tournament, one solo tournament.
Oh, yeah.
But I like how even with that 3v3, we got it so that Yuga Rook was the final duel.
It's also,
Right,
you
of
only have so many people as well, so it's not like we can do teams of 4, teams of 5.
Right.
There's only so many characters.
Right. The Machine Cavalry Club, team of 3, until Caterpillar was introduced, but still. Yeah, but great question. I don't think there's any deeper reason there.
I don't think so.
But
either.
maybe there is, and maybe we'll find out.
It's probably because it's kind of an ideal team size.
Yeah,
Honestly.
I agree.
Another 5 from Drago 77.
Drago, thank you, dude.
Can't wait for you to make videos about how Sevens exceeded expectations in terms of duels unpredictably and character development when the series is over.
Yeah, well, listen, Drago, I already,
Absolutely.
and people on Twitter, I saw some fun, very kind subtweets about it. People that obviously didn't watch the video. Obviously, I did a video talking about why I believe the girls in Sevens are the best Yu-Gi-Oh girls, which, I mean, if you're arguing that, which some people are, it has to be coming from a place of ignorance like that. You can say what you want about Yu-Gi-Oh! Sevens, about it being, too childish or not dark enough or whatever. If you have those tastes.
Not a real Yu-Gi-Oh.
Well, yeah.
Well, it's not.
Well, all right, it's not a real Yu-Gi-Oh. That's fine, but if you're arguing that
I'm kidding.
the girls in any of the previous Yu-Gi-Oh shows were treated better and handled better than the girls of Sevens have been handled, that's just wrong. Like, I don't even really want to have that debate because that's just straight up. It's not. I don't even think there's a debate to be made there. Quantity and quality, but that's just my opinion on it. So I will probably, the thing is, and a lot of people say, why don't you make rant videos while the show is happening? Why don't you make, why do you wait until Vrains ends before making a video on the final season? Why do you wait until Arc 5 is over before making videos on the Battle Beast and all those arcs that you didn't like? Well, I like, hindsight is very good for me to do that.
Absolutely.
I don't like to criticize things as they're happening.
Right.
Because as they're happening, I would have been pretty critical of that Rook Pigeon duel and we got more backstory on it 10 episodes later,
And it
and
made
then
it
I would have
better.
looked like a fool. The video would have been outdated.
Yeah.
So I like to wait for the shows to end before making any kinds of videos like that about the show
You
as
want
a
to be
whole.
as educated as possible.
Exactly. I was just so confident with the direction of the girls in Sevens that I could make that video, and my opinion on that's not going to change. Even if you kill off all the girl characters next week, my opinion on it is still not going to change.
Absolutely.
Yeah, but I have a fun video coming out.
Spoilers.
Yeah, I'll show you the thumbnail
Oh,
for it if
God.
you want to go to the next one. Drago, thank you for the donation, my man.
Wait, while we pull it up, we have $5 from Nick Schoner. I don't like Gakuto's outfit, but I loved how Gakuto's helper, can't spell his name, it's
Rizuke.
Rizuke, helps him defend against Nail's last attack and not let him take the hit by himself with his medallion. Yeah, that was kind of symbolic.
Yes.
It was really nice.
Yeah, they were in it together there. I mean, he's the one that shook Gakuto out of it. It's like, man, like, this is a disgrace.
You're disgracing your family.
Yeah,
bro.
like, we have a long history here, the three of us, like, get back to your roots of who you are.
And yeah, I agree. He like I guess figuratively and literally like helped him hold up the shield, helped him take the brunt of that explosion there, and it was nice because he really through thick and thin is by his side. So
Yep, I agree.
great guy.
Great dude. I'm trying to get this thumbnail.
Oh my God!
This is...
How about I might be behind. That's why I think it was the thing.
Yeah, you just see it pop up.
Yeah,
on
I see it
the screen.
pop up on my screen. I'm like, oh Jesus.
There you
Before I
go.
go pick.
Yeah, let's go to the next.
We have another 5 from 5 real from Caio Cesar Campos. Imagine that now on, each time Gakuto is in a pinch, he sees one of his ancestors, generation per generation until his last duel, his father, to become the leader.
Oh,
I mean,
my
I'd-
God.
That would be
That'd be
insane.
really
I would
Great
get
theory.
chills. I
Also,
would get
yeah,
chills.
Nick, thank you for that donation. That's a great theory.
Yeah.
Jesus
that was Caio's
Christ.
theory. That was wow.
I like that a lot, Kaio. So I have a video coming out. I'm trying to make videos that dispel rumors. And it doesn't even matter after I upload this because I'm still going to see people say it. One of the things that probably annoys me more than anything else right now is I can't believe they ended Vrains early for Yu-Gi-Oh! Sevens.
Oh, it's a classic.
People still say it. People will be saying it for the next 10 years.
They'd be
That
wrong.
line, it's completely wrong because the studios are different. So, of course, that they didn't end Vrains early for Yu-Gi-Oh! 7. The studios are different. There'd be more weight to that if it was a Gallop anime. So the thumbnail I have, which is one of my favorite thumbnails that my thumbnail person made, I love the Yuga sunglasses.
Did he edit those on?
Yes! Yes!
So this is a real video that's
So that video, no, I'm doing that. That's my video. So that video will be out. The answer to that, by the way, is no.
It's obviously.
That video will be out on maybe this weekend or maybe next weekend. So that's another fun video to look forward to. Jeez, man. That is something that every time I see it, I'm like, oh my God, it's such an ignorant and incorrect statement.
But it's also,
Yes.
again, it's people that are more than likely not watching.
They're
Sevens.
casual fans.
They hear
yeah,
a couple
I know.
things about someone telling them a result, and they go, "Wow, that's ridiculous." And they weren't there for the whole episode, and they go,
Right.
"Wow, I can't believe we threw away Vrains for this."
Yeah.
And you know what? That becomes kind of with the territory, right? Is when we get further and further from the show, and it's kind of crazy to think about. We're almost in 3 years, 2 years away from Vrains. 2
Right.
years this year.
Jeez. Yeah.
Yeah. You get nostalgic to a negative degree.
Yeah.
Right.
Where you go, man, what a fantastic show that was. And then you start peeling back the layers and you go, man, and I'm personally someone who liked Vrains more than Sevens.
Yeah.
So I'll outright say that.
Yeah.
But you start looking at it and you go, I mean, there was some things clearly going on behind the scenes that really hurt the story of the show.
Oh yeah.
So let's not put it on like a 10 out of 10 pedestal all the time.
Yeah, and I think also it's just not mature and accurate to then scapegoat Yu-Gi-Oh! Sevens as the blame and the reason for
exactly,
those production
not at
issues.
all.
Before Sevens was even a thing, Yu-Gi-Oh! Vrains had 4 recap episodes in an 18-episode span.
Yeah.
Between 28, I'm sorry. Or 25. Between episodes 13 and 38, 4 recaps. Is that Seven's fault?
No.
It's not even the same studio. So
yeah, I mean, Gallop was clearly having issues.
Yeah, clearly.
Long before.
even during the Arc 5
I mean,
days.
you could literally.
You had animators come out. Mako Abe was a very famous one to tweet and was like, "What do you want us to do? You're giving us storyboards for these episodes 2 days before they're supposed to be done."
Now, I would imagine, and there's some ignorance here on my part, I would imagine culture, obviously, in Japan in terms of work ethic is probably different, right? So we're not going to get probably a story 5 years from now of what really happened.
They're very
to Studio Gallop,
closed.
Right?
Yeah.
If that was in the U.S.,
yeah.
oh my God, journalists would be tearing apart the studio for an exclusive to figure out what the hell happened. Interviews would be everywhere.
Yeah.
People would be selling people out.
It's not that.
You're not
culture.
going to probably get that.
Nah, that's something that we're probably never going to really know the actual reasoning of, and we'll just have to speculate. My dream, and I told you this dream, we travel, we go with someone like Entame and her team. I somehow...
Just tell me off the record.
I somehow get in touch with one of the people that worked on Arc 5. We go to a hotel room.
And we get an exclusive interview.
You know, they're grayed out, and their voices change.
It would be...
But they would never agree to that, because what's in it for them?
If that actually
money,
happened...
pay them.
I would pay
it would
them.
be... Well, or revenge if you really had something against the studio.
We'll find Mako Abe.
If that happened, it would the video would have like 1 million views.
There would be a good amount of people that would not even, I think, believe that the person was actually yeah. So that's
it's just crazy. Yeah,
it is. It's one of my funnest. It's one of my favorite things to discuss. Though I love discussing it.
And like it's funny because I think we talked about it maybe a month ago now. We looked at like a collection of the works that Gallop had done, and you look at say 90.
Go to Gallup's Wikipedia
like
page.
99 to 2009 or so.
Yeah.
Double the amount of work that they had from like 09 to 2019.
From Zexal on, Yu-Gi-Oh was all they did.
It literally
before Zexal, they were doing many other anime outside of just Yu-Gi-Oh. It was just it's a shame.
It has nothing to do with Sevens or Bridge at all. It's Gallop is failing as a company.
Yeah.
That's really just what it comes down to.
I agree, and I said I'm very
doesn't tarnish any reputation.
No,
previous shows doesn't make Reigns a bad show, but has nothing to do with anything.
No. That's basically going to be the crux of that video. It has nothing to do with anything. They have nothing to do with each other. Yeah. So your anger here towards Sevens for Reigns' issues at the end are just unfounded, completely unfounded. And we'll see if that video reaches people. It won't.
Yeah, it won't.
But it'll be fun to do.
You're gonna get some blowback.
Well, I'll get some blowback. I'll get some blowback. Oh, you're completely wrong. How am I wrong?
And it's funny because if people are mad that Sevens ended early, or Reigns ended early for Sevens, then maybe, just maybe, the writing in the first 20 episodes shouldn't have included for, recap episodes. Or the writing maybe shouldn't have forgotten every single detail that was brought up. Like, it's just, don't blame the current show. Just don't.
Yeah. Well, and that's the thing. Very heavy Arc 5 fans blamed Reigns when it started for Arc 5's ending.
And that's stupid.
It happened with Zexal to Arc 5. It happened with 5Ds to Zexal. And it very well might happen. It very well might happen with Sevens to Yu-Gi-Oh! 8.
I'm going to go on a limb here. I'm going to blame Yu-Gi-Oh! Sevens for why I can't watch the sub of Yu-Gi-Oh!
But that's the logic gymnastics that some people in this community have gotten to. Yeah. That's the logic gymnastics.
I'm saying it.
I'm going to start that. Yeah. Yu-Gi-Oh! And people will believe me if I say it.
Yeah. Zale, however you want to say it. It's not on Crunchyroll sub because of Yu-Gi-Oh! Sevens.
Yeah, that's the logic gymnastics.
Way to go, Studio Bridge. Way to go.
It's something. All right, well, I'm going to use the restroom, but keep going.
You're just going to leave us.
We'll run.
I'll be right back, chat. Chat, I love you. Thank you for being here. We're a little off the rails.
Welcome back to Yu-Gi-Oh! Nothing.
We're a little off the rails.
It was a good idea to go up before I get too into the Reigns thing. Good show, but I still feel very bitter about what happened. 5 pounds from Nicholas Horton.
Thank you.
Could the girl's voice on the phone belong to Seagull Chan?
God damn it.
She wasn't there when Team Yuga won against them.
No. I honestly, and we can ask Dylan this when he comes on, I just really think that character is
someone we haven't met
it's
before.
just not gonna.
Oh,
not only that, it's just not gonna come back. They're not gonna be relevant.
I don't think so.
I'm on that boat, but we'll see. It's definitely not Seagull Chan.
If this is Reigns, sure, we'll never see her again.
I'm sell.
I like it.
Not feeling it.
I'm just I just think they haven't. I mean, there are a few that have been, just a few details in the show that haven't been addressed, but a good chunk of them that early on were brought up have been addressed. So I think it's very possible that they will address this. Maybe we will never see her, but it could be. It'll be addressed.
We'll see.
I think it'll 100% will be addressed. Maybe it won't be a character we see.
Fair enough. I just still think that the main antagonist or someone running behind the scenes is just no one we've been introduced to.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. We have 5 real from Kyle Campos.
Thank you, Kyle.
WTF, they are the best club, and Seagull-chan is the best waifu. I believe in the Seagull supremacy. She and Pigeon-kun can steal the show anytime.
See,
that was when I said that they were on the bottom of the totem pole.
See, that's someone sipping the Kool-Aid on bird-like characters.
Yeah.
That's what
and
that
birds
is.
aren't even real, so.
That's true.
I was just talking about this with Jordan earlier.
At least in the U.S., birds are
Yeah.
government drones.
Yeah, in the
That is real.
70s, or maybe it was a little
True.
later. But yeah, Ronald Reagan was like, yeah, no, we're going to get rid of these,
Yeah.
and then put out drones.
And then it led into the war on drugs in the 80s.
Exactly.
The birds.
What are you
Talking
Oh,
about
we're
birds.
talking to the donations, man. We're keeping the show running while you're gone.
But I like the idea of Seagull supremacy, yeah. And,
Yes.
And then he comes back with another Turiel. Her ace has to be a seagull, human like pigeon ace.
I don't know about that.
I don't know about that. Sounds terrifying.
It does. Kyle, thank you, my man.
And then another 2 from Kaio. Otis and Princess G are in a relationship. B, S, or H?
Buy, sell, or hold. I buy.
Oh, yeah.
Buy.
I buy that, yeah.
Otis and Princess J.
The aesthetic is just there.
I'm selling that.
She's in
I
the
would hold it.
mysterious
Yeah,
bad
I'll hold
boys who kind of flake her from time to time. But when
And
he's
she
around,
loves that, though.
Yeah, when he's around and they're having a night, it's an unforgettable night.
What?
So I buy that.
I buy that.
Beat, you buy too? We're buying.
No, he's selling.
Yeah, I'm selling that. Yeah,
5 Canadian dollars from the best cowboy, Nick Yagi. This one's a long one. Luke needs to lose. I don't want any other quote. Gary Sue. Luke always wins all his duels. About time Luke loses one day. Yuga for the win. Yugioh 7 is the best Yugioh 7 at the level of female characters. Thanks to that, he'll become one of my favorite Yu-Gi-Ohs in life. I hope they won't scrap them. Excuse me. Yeah, I hope they won't scrap them.
Your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's.
I think
a Luke win would be more interesting, but in terms of like, is it about time Luke loses? Probably.
Yeah, I don't know. I think him losing even later on, I think he definitely needs to lose at some point. I don't know if it has to be here.
Yeah, he doesn't need to have a loss just to have a loss. It has to serve the story.
Yeah.
And I think it just fits because Yuga's the creator of Rush Duels. He's getting this kind of pseudo championship of King of Duels, which is going to end up meaning nothing. And I think it's time for him to just supplant his place as he's the best of this crew.
Yeah.
Because he's gone against better competition, but he's also been racking up some losses here.
Yeah.
So it's time to just prove once and for all, like, hey, here's my revenge against Rook. I win. I'm better.
And what I like too about that is Rook will then he'll have like a mountain to overclimb for the first time really in this show.
Yes.
Not the first time, but this will be the biggest hurdle he'll have to face, where he was that close to achieving his dream and he was defeated by his best friend. I think that could lead to some interesting character development. So I could argue that it's definitely probably a good time for him to lose as well. So we'll see. It'll be fascinating.
Yeah, and in terms of course, yeah, like the female characters are great. Sevens has been doing a great job with that. Absolutely.
Yeah.
We have $5 from T Pinkstaff, saying the opposite now. Rook needs legitimacy more than Yuga does. What do you think about that?
Huh.
That's a little aggressive.
Pink Staff, thank you for the donation. It's honestly fascinating to me. Just this debate between Yuga versus Rook. And who needs the win more, who's going to get the win.
I mean, the way I just look at it, if Rook, let's say in this scenario, there's no draw, no result. It's just the two of them win. You're going to really have Yuga lose again. Like, I think that would be crazy.
Yuga's legacy is not in being the best duelist. Yuga's legacy will always be the creator of Rush Duels.
But at the same time,
I'm okay with
he
that.
is the protagonist.
He is.
So, like,
and
I need a little more from you.
Yeah.
So,
and
you could argue that this is one of the first legitimate opponents Rook has had since episode 2, which was Yuga as well.
Yeah. That's true.
So,
that's true.
It's a big test for both.
Yeah. I don't mind if I know we're used to with Yu-Gi-Oh's the protagonist in some shows never losing. I wouldn't mind the protagonist losing 6-7 times personally if the losses serve the story.
Right, exactly.
So
yeah, wins again should not define a protagonist. And I think in terms of personality, Yuga's got it. I mean, like he has really brought up every one of his co-characters.
I 100% agree.
So I think he has served that purpose well. I think what I'd like to see like more dueling prowess out of him, sure,
for the
it's not the
dono.
end all be all for him. He's been doing great.
I mean, here's an example, right? I thought his loss to Nail was fantastic, right? That served the story. He was blindsided by a new summoning method.
Yeah.
Right.
His loss to Asana, I'm not as a huge fan of because it felt very rinse and repeat. It was really only to serve the purpose to get them to go to another school, and like that didn't flow as well for me. I figured there's other ways the villain group could have kind of gotten them to do what they want. Like she still loses and goes, "Well, you're doing this anyway, or else, or we'll do this."
Yeah.
So that loss was a little bit like, I don't love that.
Yeah, I think that one would have been better if she didn't use a maximum.
Yeah.
In that one.
Yeah, definitely agree. But yeah, Yuga is the best. He's like a golden retriever, and I love him. And
The best boy.
he's the best boy.
You go best boy.
We have 5 Real from Kyle Cesar Campos.
Kaio, thank you, my man.
After this duel, Neil learned to not rely on Max. Providence Ace will appear soon, and I see Max summon support as Neil development through the show.
Yeah, I think it would be cool. I think Nail is always going to
That just is rely on Max.
rely on Max.
Yeah.
You don't think he'll grow in any way? He's just gonna say stagnant.
But no, I kind of love him for doing it. I kind of love him for being that biggest, baddest, strongest maximum.
It's also
holder.
his mechanics.
It's his mechanic. I think he should rep it, and I think he reps it really well. So I have. And by the way, let's not forget. By the way, let's not forget that he dominated Gakuto. He was never in danger of losing.
Yeah.
So it's not. I don't think he even needs to grow. He does that same duel against Gakuto 100 times. He wins 90 of them.
I agree. I would just like to see a little bit more variety, a little more versatility.
Which we do get that at a lot of our main characters. We don't get that so much with Neil, but
It's only his third duel.
it's only his third duel.
So
Yeah.
I'm not really.
I'm not. For me, it's not. It's not too much of a.
I'm not dying on that hill. I'm
Yeah,
alright
that's
with
fair.
it.
That's fair. That's fair.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's. But yeah, I mean, it makes sense that he would rely on it because he is sort of he's the max summoning guy. It's just because like he was the one that you threw that into the game, and it's fine. It's his thing.
That's right.
You don't see Kaiba not using blue eyes. You do, I'm sure.
Kaiba, I think he's blue eyes in every single duel.
Yeah, there we go. Take that.
I think. So some characters just have symbolic aces. That's okay.
Exactly.
Nothing wrong with that.
We have another 2 from Kaio's just throwing it out there.
Thank you, Kaio.
I think he meant Gallop here. He said bridge, but I meant Gallop. Hacks some parents' cars AI.
Or he wants to see that now and
Maybe that could also be it.
I
Because I think we were talking something about. I forget what we were talking about. Parents, and then
Thank you
that is
for
something I
the
think in the show we
dono.
can retire for the moment.
You don't want to see
His
parents die in car crashes.
I'm good.
Yeah.
I've had more than my fill.
Yeah, that was the Studio Gallop special. That was the Studio Gallop special.
It was that and really just destroying your female character.
Yes.
Wait, so you're saying like I don't know, like 4 sets of parents dying in mysterious, or not 4 sets of parents, but like 2 sets of parents and like a teenager dying in a car crash all in the same series is enough for you, or too much for you?
Yeah, I think I'm good.
Okay.
I think I'm good. You want more. You want more death. Is what you're saying.
Feed off
Death, give them nutrients. That's how you're looking for.
We had a link donation through Entame. Thank you, Entame, for the donation. Yuga Nation, we ride this Saturday and the next. If Yuga wins, I'll pay for a round of Sojo. You do not need to do that, Entame. Soju? Entame, even though I want Rook to win, I love Yuga. I mean, Yuga is
he's my favorite character.
So
he's such a he's great.
Yeah, I'm not going to be in any way upset if Yuga wins.
Exactly.
This is just one of those duels where I don't think I'll be upset.
What happens if Rook wins?
I'll be shocked.
No. She said if Yuga wins. So what happens if Rook wins?
I think we just don't get
then
free
what? No.
What do you mean?
So
we'll pay for the Soju.
There's got to be something else there in part of this bet.
We'll think about it. I don't know.
She's already the character
she wants to drink sake live.
She's saying
the whole.
She's already saying that if the character she wants to win wins, she will pay. So that's a win.
Yeah, but then we're punishing her if Rook wins. That's where I'm going. So she's gonna drink sake on stream.
It's not even a bet. It's just a promise.
Yeah, I made it one.
I appreciate. That's actually a very kind offer. I appreciate. I
well, also look
love
for that
synergy.
Korean barbecue.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
that's
cannot
gonna be
wait.
great.
Cannot
That's
wait.
gonna be great.
Yeah, looking forward to seeing her. We have $5 from.
That would have been.
I can never pronounce this, and I'm just gonna say John, because I don't want to get made fun of for mispronouncing it. Literally every American I've ever met mispronounces this last name.
Yeah.
So Rook said something interesting in when supporting Gakuto. Oh, yeah, we were talking about this before. All of the me's within me are giving you standing ovations. Maybe multiple personalities.
You said that actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that could be the route they're going with Rook.
Yeah, I mean, he already dueled himself.
Yeah. I think that could be the route that they're going with Rook.
You know,
So.
and the whole him drawing in the clock tower. I don't know. I feel there's
It's a possibility. That was a creepy scene. That was weird. Man.
Yeah. What the drawings were.
Yeah, so I don't know. You know,
Yeah. Yeah, it'll be exciting.
Can't wait.
cannot wait. £5 from Nicholas Horton. Again, we've got another big mystery is, what is Mr. Gohadron's origin? And could he have been human who transferred his mind into machine? Oh, yeah, it's like that Johnny Depp movie.
Mm-hmm.
Transcendence. Yeah.
It's not good.
Yeah, it's not good.
It's
But this would be, yeah. Could
We
be.
don't know Mr. Goha's origin, and I think it's going to be fascinating to find that out.
I'm actually very excited to find
Yeah,
out.
I think we'll find it out soon. But Nicholas, man, you're always around, dude. I love you, dude. Thank you so much for the cheer.
homie. Thank you.
The homie, that's right.
$5 Australian from Electric Heaven again. We don't have things in Rush Duels like Union Monsters, equip spells, counter traps, not even cards that summon tokens. Will we get those eventually? What do you think?
I don't think so.
I know you play professionally, so.
Well, I don't, but I don't think so. I really do think that they're gonna try and keep Rush Duels as separate as possible from the from TCG stuff. And I think we have a new mechanic coming. I think it's going to be called Extra Summoning, personally. No confirmation on that, though. Just that we do have a new mechanic. So, no, I don't think that we are going to see stuff like that. I think they're going to stay pretty separate for the foreseeable future. Maybe we'll get to it, but I think it'll stay separate for a while.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I think so as well. Even though I know nothing about the card game, and I'm just guessing off the, you know.
It's all right, my
That's
friend.
why I
It's
just trust his advice.
Yeah, I mean, he is a pro. I think Dylan is thinking about going pro.
Yeah. Well, he's definitely not a Duel Links pro. That guy's trash.
No, yeah, very bad at dual links. But if you put a deck of cards in his hand,
like Luna Lights.
yeah,
I mean, come on.
you put a real deck of cards in
I
his hand.
play Harpies now, my friend.
It's even worse.
So you just played the meta? Is that,
Remember All Dinos?
is that
Remember
what
those
you do?
days?
You just
Remember those days?
It's not in the Duel Links.
Just gave it up in real life. That's it.
Shadows aren't in Duel Links. COVID happened.
no, I'm a good excuse.
He's lying.
And then they closed Hobby Masters. So
Right, exactly. They did.
I want you to
I
when
know.
we have another
I'm being
when we have another
serious.
jump fest here. I want you to duel some people. I want to watch Goose just destroy you.
Ooh, yeah. Goose.
After Jump Fest at 2019, people were just dueling on the couches.
You ain't beating Goose.
I think JC,
I was watching him. He was,
JC smacked Latrell, I'm pretty sure.
he was
Wow,
wrecking people.
Latrell better come in and defend himself real quick. You can't be saying that if he's not here. Where's Trell? Is Trell here?
He's here. I'm sure he's here.
Kyle with another 5 real.
Kyle, thank you.
Oh God.
Yeah.
New Reddit theory. Sevens ends Gallop. Thumb up. Thumb of your video. Yuga drip dabbing with sunglasses surfing above Yusaku's body, crying for Ai to come back.
That's your thumbnail right there. Now that
Oh my
would
God.
be good.
Yeah,
That
no,
would be
send the
really
thumbnail
good.
back. You need a new one now.
Yeah, you're right. I need a new thumbnail. Holy shit, that's funny, dude. I got some good Arc 5 videos in the works.
That makes people nervous.
It should make you nervous. Good theories, bro.
I don't like that you don't trash that show.
What'd you say?
You don't trash that show. You hear me?
I don't trash that show enough.
You better not trash.
I don't
that
trash
show.
that show.
Yeah.
I'm very honest with it.
I'm watching you. I don't want honesty. I want outright love. That's it.
Wow.
This guy. Kyle, thank you, my man.
And then, unless we have, I think that actually we do have one for the link, but we have one more super chat, and it's another from Kaio. In Brazil, birds are real. and they speak Portuguese.
Now that's even creepier.
See, that's crazy.
I don't like that.
I actually would prefer the bird drones than
Yeah, I don't
to
like that.
Portuguese speaking.
I don't like
birds.
Yeah, well, that's a little crazy. Brazil with the priest and the hammock.
Yeah, what's going on over there?
Yeah, some stuff, some
What's
weird
going on
stuff,
over
some
there?
weird stuff. Guys, I don't know if you've been noticing, but I'm wearing my Luna Lights for Life merch. If you want to check out Luna Lights for Life and some other cool merchandise that we have on the store, you can just follow the link right in the chat. I stream over on Twitch. I'm on Instagram. You guys know that. You guys are all amazing. And Luna Lights for Life, you know, they're not meta anymore, but what are you going to do? Love you guys. Thank you all so much for coming. Nick T and Pete, they got some great stuff in the work.
One more
Promo.
dono. JC Legendary Duels. It's a great duel.
I'm sorry.
The
Thank you
time
for-
has come to support my boy Rook. Coming next week. Hashtag Team Rook.
Yes, so, we got Entame, big Yuga fan,
Yeah.
JC, big Rook fan.
And they're gonna
This
fight
is
to
a
the
this
death.
is a clash, and I'd like to hope that no matter what happens, we can all enjoy the content as a community.
Nah.
But that's my fear, yeah. So we'll see what the well, you know, at least we're not gonna devolve into chaos. Usually these
Why not?
don't. Not in terms of criticizing.
I mean, it's gonna get wacky.
well,
Let's
yeah,
just say.
it might get a little
Let's
wacky.
just
That's
say.
all right. We're gonna be drunk, dude.
Well,
I'm
I
not
just
gonna
told
I'm
her.
gonna be
I told
blacked out, so.
I told Giose that when she was gonna come on there, her manager, that she was gonna be drinking sake. So
Yeah, she'll be drinking some sake. All right,
I cannot wait for that, honestly.
promote your
No, but
stuff.
we're drinking soju, which is
drop those links.
Korean, as
Promote your
opposed to
stuff.
sake, which is
Rook
Brazil.
Yuga. Hey,
want
you know what?
to
I'm pretty
see-
neutral. It's gonna be a good duel. I'm very excited.
Wait,
be
did
a
you
good
get Did you get Dark Emperor J's?
Dark Emperor J, thank you for the $1 donation. The sad thing about real life rush duels, none of Neil's Battle Protect cards even exist. And like I said yesterday, his deck is kind of bad in real life. Hopefully they print more of Neil's cards. I think Rook's deck is still the meta, I think. But I don't know too much about rush duels, so I'm not positive. But, yeah, cool.
Very cool.
Love you, Dark Emperor. Thank you. Love you guys.
Oh my God!
Promote your stuff.
Another 5 from Kaio.
Kyle, thank you. Shadow Realm Z said that the tank that shot Yusaku was used by Yuga.
My God, that is good. Now, can you see it like that scene and like except after-
Yuga smiling.
and like you just
Yeah.
like you see like the top lid of the tank pop open and then out crawls like you.
This is my universe now.
Holy shit. Someone's got to edit that, dude. That's
I'm-
great.
Somebody.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
If any of you guys have editing capabilities, please someone.
That is
Please,
funny, dude.
yeah.
Kaio, thank you. That's funny. Legendary JC, thank you as well, man.
Oh my lord. Okay, so before the next dono comes in, if it does happen, I play music in a couple different projects. If you're into any loud, heavy, hardcore music, I play in a band called Mom Fight. We're still in the process of writing and recording a full length. We kind of had to take a little bit of a hiatus for everyone's schooling. I think Sean actually just became a nurse, like officially now. So we'll probably get our feet off the ground very soon. So be on the lookout for that. You can stream all of our music everywhere. Mom Fight, and we're Mom Fight NJ on like every social media platform. I also play as a solo act called Nameling. You guys know that, but I'm gonna throw the link in the chat here. I have a EP that I put out in January, and I have a song coming out in probably about 2 months, maybe less. So be on the lookout for that.
Check it out.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, but yeah, check that out. I also stream on Twitch Sunday and Monday nights. I just started a Crystal Randomizer Nuzlocke,
Yes.
and that's been super cool. I'm only on my second run, so things have been going pretty well.
Yeah.
Pretty well. So
It's a
come
good
check
watch.
it out.
Fun time.
Twitch.tv/NickFightsMoms. I do some late night streams.
Pete?
YouTube channel, Clueless Gamers is what it is called. We do some reactions, movie reviews, and stuff like that over there. Right now, Loki is going to be starting up next Wednesday. So when we are streaming this, we probably already reacted to the first episode. So you can check that out probably the end of next week. Dylan and I also reacted to the first episode of Invincible the other day. So that edit is coming shortly. The Eternals trailer is the most recent video if you want to check out that reaction that the three of us did. That is on the channel. And for any other updates or life events, follow me on Twitter at PForCarol21.
Yes. Follow these guys. 48-hour Twitch stream, which the three of us, including a couple other friends, will be taking part in on Friday night on Twitch into Sunday night.
Yeah.
That is next weekend, June 11th into June 13th. 48 hours. Currently 14 followers away from the big 2K on Twitch, on the potential road to being a Twitch partner. Fingers crossed, hopefully one day, but we'll see. Thank you guys so much for all this, so definitely check that out. We'll have a schedule soon with all the games we'll be doing. So definitely follow me on Twitch if you don't already. You guys are awesome. Check out the merch shop if you want some cool Yu-Gi-Oh swag. And Nick T. Pete, thank you guys so much for helping and doing this.
Absolutely, anytime.
Everyone in the chat, thank you for donating. Thank you for lurking. Thank you for just being here. You guys are amazing. And I'm super thankful that you guys make Talking Yu-Gi-Oh! 7's Up one of the highlights of my week each and every week. Thank you all so much for watching, and I hope you have an amazing day. Take care,
See you
guys.
guys.
See you later.
Peace.